Welcome to the 108 podcast, starring the drunk uncles of White Sox Twitter. He's at his ideal weight if he were 10 feet tall, beef loaf. Never holding but always partaking, not hungry but will eat, My Sock Summer. And your host, he's aged and smells like a sharp cheddar, Terezi E.
Thank you, Cornsey. Welcome to From the 108 podcast. Get ready for some baseball, beer, and bullshit. And fellas, AL Central fucking champ.
Yes! Fuck yeah, baby. Fuck yeah.
Now remember the drinking rules. If Beef Loaf says allegedly or that he wrote a blog about that, you drink.
I'm right.
If My Sock Summer talks about bobbleheads or mentions his time on the West Coast, you drink. And if I swear, which I just did, or say here's the thing, you drink. Beef Loaf, how you doing tonight?
Oh, man. Absolutely fucking wonderful. Since the last time we talked to all of you on this YouTube stream, a ton of shit has gone on. I had a little spot on the Sox in the Basement podcast with my guy Chris Lanuti, which happened to be right in the middle of the day. So I got out there. I'm talking to the guy right during the work day. Little did my office know, but I snuck out for a little bit just to chat my man up. Then on Saturday, My Sox Summer and I, we had a 1 mile walk at Sox Park. I'm sure all of you saw a bunch of pictures of us stretching, getting ready for that damn thing. And it was a great event at Sox Park. There was, I believe it was Michelob Ultra was the beer. So My Sox Summer, that was your favorite, motherfucker.
Yeah, it's delicious. Thanks to all 15 people that gave us their free drink coupon too. So we didn't leave. And your boy got real fucking drunk in the middle of the day. And then kind of like got a little messed up there on Saturday night. I was hurting by the end of that podcast.
Bro, the amount of people that were giving us tickets too, me, you, and Matt Ramsey were standing there in the one area, and people were like, "You guys want my drink ticket?" And we're like, "Yeah, of course." We got a little buzzed up. We could have used a nap, but we didn't have time for a nap. We had to turn it back around, get ready. We had the live show at the Ballpark Pub with the Locked On Sox guys, Chris Tannehill, Herb Lawrence. That couldn't have went better. That was a great time.
Beautiful.
Terrific fucking show. It was nice outside. Richie and Nikki, the proprietors of Ballpark Pub, took great care of us. They even gave us T-shirts and shit. I think the Locked On guys got hats. MSS, you and I didn't get hats. We only got T-shirts.
No.
So we're like a rung below right now of the Locked On Sox crew when it comes to free merch.
I want to say that Locked On got hats and shirts.
Yeah, they did.
And so they're like, I feel like Richie and Nikki were like, come back again and we'll give you a hat. So they're just trying to bait us into things. You know, it's like
we'll come and we'll work for it. We'll run up like a $200 bar tab just to get a hat.
Pretty much.
Yep,
100%.
So we did that great show, and obviously, thanks to everyone that came out. Turnout was great. It was a lot of fun. I fucked up the sound because I stuck it in the wrong hole. Teresa, you showed me how to do it, and then I went wrong hole anyway. And it was my first time, which it was. And I just got overexcited and went in the wrong hole, and we were recording only the air. So that's why the audio is kind of fucked up. I apologize, everybody.
So, Beef, the thing about that is I appreciate what you did. Now, I know you know how to do it. You would have been fine.
Yep.
You broke it on purpose because you're like, we're going to have this great show,
and
we're going to do it without Terezi. We got to make him feel like he's still useful somehow. So you gave me really shitty audio and said, for once, you have to edit. You have to do something. So I had to work. I had to do some work, and it still wasn't great. But if you guys could hear the original audio, you would think there was some fucking Menachino magic going on, my friends.
All I was happy about is that it was clear as a bell when I asked Herbie in the rapid fire questions, who's more likely to be made in the Italian mafia, Mike Tirico or Henry Hill, that came through, and the laughter from the crowd came through because the entire group at Ballpark Pub was laughing their ass off. I also like that My Sox Summer's joke about David Ross being a tough guy, and the way you show you being a tough guy, go on Dancing with the Stars. That joke also came through, and I'm glad at least we nailed our big jokes there. So that was good. And then fast forward to Tuesday. And Mrs. Beef and I celebrated our 19th wedding anniversary.
Oh, congrats.
So, thank you.
Congratulations.
It's, I would give wedding advice or make it that long or whatever. But that time period just flew by. We've been having so much fun, and we're still madly in love with each other. And I don't know if you remember when I was dating Mrs. Beef Treasy, but
I don't.
I was of the mind that
I remember that you dated her. My brain doesn't go that far back.
I was of the mind that this woman's so beautiful and wonderful, I should marry her before she realizes that she's choosing to be with me. Mm-hmm. So it was a good choice. I got her locked down, lifetime contract, and now fast forward 19 years later, and we ordered in some Mastros. It's like, we're not going to go out, and we got Bonita with us. We'll just order in some Mastros. So there's nothing like getting like a full steakhouse meal, and it's like on your coffee table while you're getting ready to binge watch the Shy Party Ant Netflix show.
My sock summer.
Right there.
Can I ask you a question, my sock
Yeah.
summer?
Yeah.
Do you feel like Beefloaf just said, without saying it, that he outkicked his coverage? Because I feel like he basically said that. But now he'll backtrack on it.
I mean, it depends what you say. Yes. Yeah, he kind of did, because he was like, I got to get her before she realizes she's too good for me.
Yeah.
Just looks wise.
And my computer still needs to be fucked. Fuck this computer.
I'm just talking about looks.
I bought a goddamn adapter and it still fucking sucks. Fuck this.
I'm a wonderful fucking human being. Everyone knows that. So that I just meant looks wise.
You are.
Everyone surface level. You don't want to think.
But isn't that part of it though? It's still kind of part of it, right?
It's part of it, but it's not the whole thing. That's why sometimes you got to trick on the looks, but and then you get later on, it's like, okay, everything is pretty even,
Yeah, because usually when we talk about, you outkicked your coverage, it's because the girl is incredibly hot and Wally is just not that good looking. So, yeah.
My sock summer, how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. So today it was chilly-ish, right? It was like 50 something this morning. So like busted out the fucking joggers today, right? Because I'm like, I don't need shorts. Man. I shouldn't be wearing shorts. And so I put them on.
Did you get boned up in line at the Costco?
I'm downstairs. First off, Treasy, fuck you. I'm not wearing these. I will wear these to walk my daughter to school. I am not wearing joggers or fucking sweatpants or workout pants out in public unless I'm coming from the gym. Like, I'm not just going to wake up on a non-gym day.
Crazy. He tries to inadvertently show Dong to get a better price when he goes to the yard sale.
He does.
100%.
He does.
He's like, look what I got here,
I knocked over a bobblehead.
I resent you even saying that. No, I don't think that having a big dick will get you better prices at a garage sale. If anything, it would charge you more because they're like, man, like this guy's hung like a horse. I got to charge him like, $5 more because of that. Because he's had too good of a life. I got to fuck it up somehow.
No. But, big dick guy ain't got no money.
So
only got big dick, no money.
So while I'm doing this, right? Well, I like my first night, like I'm sitting at home after I walked my daughter to school, and I'm like, it's warm. Like my pants are warm. And I'm like, I'm not ready for this. Like, it's not cold enough for me to wear the joggers. So I had to throw the shorts back on later. And then we were good. But the funniest part about this whole story, and I don't know if this is true, and this is why I wanted to bring it up. Treasy, have you bought yourself any fucking sweatpants yet? Because you went all of COVID without any sweatpants. Just like you had some Darth Vader, sleeper pants, but you don't have any like good joggers or sweatpants.
No. I mid pandemic,
okay,
I bought a pair of sweatpants, and that's primarily what I wear when I work from home.
Okay,
but I only have one pair, so they're disgusting.
They're stanky, huh?
Yeah, I just don't wash them either. I'll bring them over to your house next time I come over.
Please do not.
I'll just leave them under your deck and see how long it takes you to notice.
How long it takes you to go under there to piss like you like to, and then you sit there down there.
He'll be afraid to piss though because they have my piss scent on it, and I'm down there.
No, that's why he's got to get down there to eradicate your piss. He gets his piss on your piss.
He'll be terrified once he smells it.
I have not pissed outside in over a year. So congratulations on worrying me on that one.
Sure, Jan.
No, I'm serious. Exactly. And actually today, when
you told us your pants got all warm because you pissed your pants.
No,
that had to have happened outside.
I fucking was running a little hot. I was running a little hot. And speaking of which, the reason that I stopped pissing in the back, because I was seeing rats. I saw a huge rodent today when I pulled into the garage and was pulling stuff out of the back of the car before I put it in, and he scampered under the fucking door. I have never I didn't yell. like a little bitch, but I could have. And I hate rats, dude. Those things are fucking nasty.
Bro, in
Bridgeport
got a lot of rats. There's a lot of rats in Bridgeport.
Oh, I need to get a fucking snake.
And I'm not even talking about the place that was across the street from me, Treasy. You know what
right?
I'm not talking about that kind of rat.
Yeah, that's right. Well, they had both kinds.
They had both kinds in that place, coming out of that place for sure.
Treasy, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great, man. So I this past weekend I wasn't hanging out with you guys.
No,
I was at Riot Fest, and so it was awesome. It was like incredible to be out seeing live music again, and like in a very comfortable environment too, because it was like a beautiful summer day, both Friday and Saturday, just out there, and like you can be as spaced or as close as you want to other people. It was really great. I had a great time, saw some really great bands. But you know what I was thinking about? Because we went and Living Color was playing, and I've always been a big fan of Living Color, and I got the chance to actually see them at the House of Blues a while back. And like I don't even think they had an opener. They just played for like two and a half hours, something like that. It was just incredible. And so I went to see them, and it reminded me just how damn good this band is. And it really made me think about how different consuming music is now versus then. Right? Because if you think about it, like Cult of Personality came out, I think that was their second single. It was a huge hit, right?
Unbelievable. But
like they sputtered out after that because their next released single wasn't that good, right? And and the reason they released it is a track called Glamour Boys, but Mick Jagger produced it, so of course that's the one you're going to release, right? That makes sense, but it's not that great of a song. Nowadays, if someone told you, hey, check this band out, here's this track called The Personality, you'd go and you'd listen to that whole album on Spotify or whatever you use, right? Sure. And the album's incredible. There's like 2 tracks that I'm just like, whatever. One of them is their follow-up single. And I'm just like, and it's like, man, like if they came out now and they had an album like Vivid, like they would be huge compared to like what they ended up being.
Teresa, you're right about the accessibility because you hear the one radio single when we were younger, and then it's an $18 commitment to go to Coconuts and buy the CD sight unseen, and you only know one song, and you couldn't even steal them because they had like prison bracelets on them, like house arrest bracelets, and you couldn't get the things out. Like there was the only way to do it was you had to go out there and spring for the $18 CD. That was before you had secondhand CD shops, and then before you had Napster where you could kind of steal everyone's music. You had to make a real commitment, and you're right. It's tough. Unless you get a second single out there that people love, you're right. It's just tough to get discovered.
So Steve asked my thoughts on CM Punk's appearance so CM Punk actually introduced Cult of Personality, right? Like before he came out. But so I'm way in the back because look, I'm old now, man. What I do is I go as far back as possible away from people, but as close to the soundstage as possible. Because the guy in the soundstage, it sounds the best there out of everywhere. So I want to be near that, right? Yeah. But I still want to be in the back because, I would break into a million pieces if I moshed.
Right.
I think you got one song in you, one pit song in you left.
So
maybe.
I thought about it on Saturday morning, to be honest. I was hungover as shit, but the Bronx was so good, I almost ran in the pit. And I was like, I might not come back out. But so it was
us. Could you imagine us shoehorning in visiting Teresi in the hospital between our 2 events on Saturday?
No, I wouldn't have done it. I would have texted him, and it would have been a nice text. But I'd be like, man, I hope you're okay. But that was fucking stupid.
But so CM Punk goes up there, right? And so I'm really far back, and I'm thinking, who would be introducing them? And I see like the guy's got a bunch of tattoos. He's kind of a big white guy, and I'm like, it's probably Henry Rollins.
Henry Rollins is not big.
Henry Rollins, like 35 years older than CM Punk. But I was just like, it's probably Henry Rollins. Who else?
Henry Rollins is like 5'2".
I don't know. I mean, you can't tell height. You can't tell
little.
Height. They're on stage, man.
He's Corey the little guy.
Corey Glover from Living Color could be 5'4" or 6'2". I have no idea.
I just think it's where you're like, big white guy might be Henry Rollins, and Henry Rollins is literally 5'10". Yeah.
I meant big, like his arms were big. Like the guy looked like he could punch someone's head off the body.
He's yoked out.
And that's Henry Rollins used to be yoked. I don't know if he is so much anymore. Is he?
He's like 65 or something.
I know, but still, you can still be yoked at 65.
I only know like one yoked out white guy that would be introducing Living Color. Apparently, there's a different one. I fucked up.
My Sock Summer, I envision Therese. He's talking about his oldness and he's in the back. I envision him being on a platform that 4 people are holding up so that he's up high enough so he's got a good sight line to the stage.
Yeah. I like that. I also like that he's dropping like music knowledge tips on people. And he's done this before. This is not the first time he said stand by the sound guy. But like, he's like, oh, you got to stand by the sound guy because that's the guy that's dialed it all in. I'm like, good job, buddy. That's good.
It is a good idea.
It's true. It's true. It's 100% true.
Well, and also you get a little gangster lean on the,
Oh man, if you get that,
gotta be careful though.
Now, here's the thing, Beef. What was really good about being near the soundstage was there was also right behind the soundstage there was a little beer setup.
Nice.
Ooh.
And you know what they sold there? 24-ounce Goose Island cans.
Oh shit, man.
24 ounce.
Down on?
IPA? The IPA.
Oh,
there was the IPA and 312 back there. And so the IPA, and you know what's you guys want to know something?
Was it fresh?
It was fresh as hell, man, because they ran out of the Riot Fest Sucks.
Of course they did. That's probably the awesomest beer ever.
On Friday they ran out of it. And so like everything was like being restocked all weekend. But our koozies, our Sunday soak koozies can hold a 24-ounce can. That's
that's
awesome.
That's huge.
It might not ever be the same.
Right.
It's gone 24 ounce.
Ruin the fit. I was like, what's the drop? Oh yeah, the fit. The fit. Yeah. The fit.
So it's time, my friends, for a little something special that we like to call the show poll.
I love it. That banana makes me happy every time I see it. Every time I see it.
And so today, Beef had it for us. He wants our favorite Chicago clincher game.
Clinch.
Now, not 16-inch softball clincher.
Not clincher.
It can be a 16-inch softball game, but it
could be.
But this is like clinching a division or a playoff spot or everything except
into the next round. Yeah, everything except berth in the next round or whatever. Yeah.
So I think everybody's been thinking about this game. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go first, and I'm going to say the blackout game. The blackout clinching in the blackout game is an all-timer for me, and I think it's because I was there. Beef, you were there with me.
Fucking right, you were, baby.
And man, that was incredible. That was the first year we had season tickets.
Yep.
So yeah, so I'm gonna take that.
So you're going blackout game.
Probably the best game I've ever attended as far as like magnitude and result. Fucking absolutely outstanding.
Loaf, go second because I can go last.
I'm gonna go second. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna go way back to when we were kids.
Way back.
Oh yeah.
We were both alive for the '85 Bears. However,
yes, we were.
I was alive too.
We remember it. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Crazy.
I'm doing a little analogy with my brother here. So we were alive for that team, but that team felt more like it was our dad's team. That's Dad's team, and Dad had been through all the suffering and all the shit, and like we watched the '63 championship the night before the Super Bowl. And it was like all this shit. But in 1990, when the Bulls were running up on that motherfucker, that was our team. We had our own team, and that was not our dad's team. So I'm going to pick May 27th of 1990 in Auburn Hills at the Palace, sweeping the Pistons to get to the NBA Finals. It was the last hurdle where you're like, okay, we're going to do it now. And the Bulls are the best team, but you were still scared of the Pistons. And then when you whoop their ass and you realize the Pistons are old and bad and terrible and none of these games are close, we're going to win the title. So for me, it was the clincher in Auburn Hills in 1990.
I love that one because
that's a good one.
I remember like you say, like they were old and bad and they were on the downside of their time. But like we did not think that when we were watching those games. You felt like, man, this team is on the level with the Bulls. And when you realized that there's not a team on the level with the Bulls, it was like, holy shit. And like, you just went like, I remember us going crazy in the house. I mean, Mom and Dad probably hated it. I'm assuming we were just like jumping on the coffee table and shit and jumping on the couch and kicking the dog or whatever we were doing. But that's a great one.
Even the next round, like the Lakers sucked too. Like, yeah,
but you didn't.
But you were worried.
You were aware of the Lakers, but they weren't as good. But you were still worried. You were
like, "Fuck the Lakers! We got to play the Lakers now." And then we whooped the Lakers' ass. So then it wasn't like, whatever.
And then I don't think the championships forever.
I don't think I was worried about any other Bulls postseason ever after that. So much so that I'm not sure the final 3 championships I ever watched a postseason game or a preseason game, like a regular season game.
You're not lying about that. I was like, because even the year that Jordan took off, I thought the Pippen-led Bulls are going to whoop everyone's ass.
Yes,
too, man. I thought they were going to go to the finals.
That 72-win season, I was like, I don't think I watched a regular season game the whole time. And that was like the best, like probably one of the best, like, season performances of any team. I was totally not interested. It's like, we're going to be in the playoffs, so I don't need to watch this shit. I'm going to go smoke some more dope. So, all right. So Bulls over Pistons.
Yep. 1990, if you could fit that in there.
Pistons.
And it's MSS's turn to pick.
Yes, it is. And then I'm going to take us back to a year that people are going to be talking about in the next few weeks, like a lot. Okay, 2005. And not only there was 2 things that happened in 2005. And I said it on Saturday. I asked Herb Lawrence, which was worse, 89 or 2005? And he said 89. And he didn't know what I was asking him about. He just said 89. Sure. He did not get it. So 89 was the year that Illinois lost in the Final Four with Kendall Gill, Ken Norman, Nick Anderson, Marcus Liberty, Stephen Bardo, Kevin Battle. So anyway, that was a rough one. That was a very rough one. That was when I gave up caring about sports. But this team brought back me caring about sports, and it was the 2005 Fighting Illini. Okay, and that season was unreal. Like they only lost 1 game, and then they get into the playoffs, and the NCAA had just started the regional pod system. So Illinois is all lined up. They're not going to have to go more than 200 miles from, Champaign in any point to win the NCAA final, the championship. I'm like, yes, we're fucking in. And so they're up the street. They're at what, Rosemont or wherever the fuck? Was it Rosemont?
I think so. Yeah.
They're at Rosemont, and fucking Illinois is playing Arizona. And it don't look good. So that first half, it is not good. So not good that I'm getting phone calls from the one person that I know that's an Arizona fan, and he's making fun of me and telling me how much we suck and how bad it's going to be. And I won't even say what I said to him after that. But like, man, when he called me, I was like, well, that's it. You just jinxed him. We're going to win this motherfucker. And won it, we did. When Illinois came out and just spanked the shit out of Arizona in front of everybody. When D. Will hit that 3. And it's like, that was it. Okay, that's my all-time favorite. To go into the Final Four that year was unbelievable. There's other things that happened. The Bulls made the playoffs for the first time since 1998 and 2005. And the White Sox, obviously, won the World Series in 2005. So that was just a great year. But yeah, fucking 100% for me, Illini over Arizona in the Elite Eight.
That fucking game. I had the game on kind of in the background. I'd given up on that game. I'd stopped watching it kind of. I was doing something else. And then I hear like the announcers getting real loud or whatever because they're down 13. It's like 3 minutes left or whatever. And then I'm looking, I was like, they're down 5. What the fuck happened? Like, how the hell did they get back in this game already? The things you have to do to blow a 13-point lead with the 3 minutes left or whatever. It's an incredible amount. Or you just got to run into a team that's a juggernaut that whoops your ass.
Yeah.
That's what happened there.
And old Lute Olson's over there just sipping on his coffee. He's like, he's making his hotel reservations to go into. Rest in peace, Lute Olson. I know you're dead. Oh, yeah. Sorry, buddy. Yeah.
I know you're dead. Like, he's listening.
Spoiler alert.
He's dead too. But no, he's sitting over there sucking on his coffee, and he's just like, "Oh shit, what's happening here?" You're like watching Grandpa get his ass kicked was just fucking fun, and and just all the years. But so many years against Arizona, like the Bill Walton when he called all the Illini players thugs. It was just a fucking very refreshing way to end that whole fucking debate, you know. And I think I was in Arizona in like 2 years later, and and I don't know if you guys know, but I used to live out west, so I was very close to Arizona, so I could just drive there, and it's no big deal. And we're watching the game, and Arizona just like fucking curb stomped the Illini. Like, I think it was 2 years after this, and people are like, "Yeah, that's a revenge for that Final Four game or the Elite Eight game." And I was like, "Bring it on! I don't give a fuck. We went to the Final Four. You just won a preseason game on your fucking home floor here. Great! Oh, this is big revenge here, motherfucker. Big revenge." So yeah, good stuff. That poll is up. I
love him. Go vote on that poll.
Go vote the poll.
And while you guys are voting on that, I'm going to ask these fellas an important question. What are you drinking?
Ooh.
Beef. What are you drinking?
Boys, I got a few things going on here.
Oh,
First
my
off,
God.
I've got a cornucopia of Goose Island beers, but specifically I got the Flamingo.
Oh, yeah, that one's good.
IPA, and I'm finishing up right now. It's really good. This is what I'm starting the night off with. I've got it backed up in the mini fridge with some Next Coast and also some Sox ales. But the most important drink that I have tonight, Treasy, and it's because it's a celebration, I have the Forbidden Tequila. So a quick story about this tequila. Which
is that in a maple?
Yeah,
it looks like it's in a maple syrup. Yeah,
it's in a maple syrup jar because this tequila is basically illegal. Shouldn't be in this country, anything like that. We went to our cousin's third wedding. I think we may have mentioned it on the podcast. And his wife's father has a connect in Mexico for this very exclusive tequila that allegedly is really not distributed at all. It's just made privately for like wealthy individuals, and was able to get them as a wedding gift a barrel of this tequila, which they had to drag across the country. I won't get into the specifics, but they had to drag the barrel themselves across the country, and then they bottled it themselves and gave it out as gifts to everyone at the wedding. So every couple got one of these. So I'm going to try the forbidden tequila tonight, and I got them beer backed. I'll probably try it while you guys are discussing what you're going to drink, but I'm super excited to try this. Treasy has this tequila as well.
I've got some too. I'm not getting into that tonight, and you'll know why in a second. But MSS, what are you drinking, my friend?
I just polished off a Gator Rider from our friends over at Goose Island, which is a pina colada hazy milkshake IPA. It's fucking delicious. And yeah, that's gone. I have moved on to the Hazy Dog from our good friends at Goose Island, which is a double dry hopped hazy IPA, because hazies and double dry hop seem to be the shiznit right now. So that's what everybody's making. The Gator Rider is a 6% alcohol. The Hazy Dog is an 8%er. So after this one, I'll be primed and ready to go for some Sox talk. What are you drinking, Chorizo?
Oh man, I think we're all going to be in good shape because, I busted out something nice for getting that division win. So I got the Bourbon County.
Yes, nice.
So I'm having one of these in my.
You got to work tomorrow?
I do. It's gonna be a great day in my Chorizo pint glass.
Baby,
is that a Mandalorian?
That is a Mandalorian.
I think SPF's asked if that was a Mandalorian pint glass.
It is with the Chorizo name on it.
That's sexy.
Treasy, this forbidden.
Did we get you that?
This illegal tequila.
Yes, this was from the summer family.
That's what I was like.
Got me that for Christmas.
That's right.
This illegal tequila is incredibly fucking smooth.
Nice.
All right,
incredibly smooth. I had a sip already. It's tremendous. I'm having another sip right now.
I feel like that's some bullshit Mexico story.
I don't think so. I'm not getting into it tonight, Beef.
Damn good.
But the Sox are away this weekend.
Yep.
I assume we're going to hang out. I think maybe we get into it.
Well,
maybe we get really into it. Not just a little nip. We get way into it. It's really good. I'll be honest with you.
Oh, you're not talking about me. That's right.
And I saw the
brother thing again.
I saw the comment from White Sox Sal that this might be my last show. No, I will not get whacked out with. This is a family. I'm going to be okay. Don't worry about it. I didn't tell the whole story anyway, so it's going to
be. If anyone can make him disappear, though, it's your cousin. So your cousin can probably make you disappear.
That's true.
So just saying.
He loves me though. He's not going to do it.
That's true.
All right. My Sox summer. Take a sip there and pay some bills.
Oh, that's delicious. Loaf.
Yes, sir.
Pop quiz time. Name the sponsor. Big supporters of all things White Sox. AL champion White Sox. AL Central champion White Sox. and sell cars, and they're not Jag-offs. Who is that?
Ooh, I think that would be Mazda of Orland Park.
Yeah, that's right. Motherfucking Mazda of Orland Park. Them guys down there off 159th. They have tons of new and certified used cars available to choose from. You know that car you see in the concourse at Sox Park? Yep. That 2021 Mazda CX SP was donated by Mazda of Orland Park to White Sox charities. Like us 108ers, they like watching the Sox, donating money to good causes, and tipping back a few brewskis. Does that sound like a guy you want to buy a car from? Of course it does. So give them a follow over at @ZoomZoomNation and check out their worldwide webpage, MazdaofOrlandPark.com. They are a Carfax top-rated dealer and take advantage of that $500 discount for Sox fans. Fuck Sox fans. Fuck Cubs fans. Whoa. My God. Mazda of Orland Park, home of the Zoom Nation. 8910 West 159th Street, Orland Park. 708-444-3200. Zoom.
Oh, baby, that was like a third ad read. That was the third ad read quality. I hope the audience loves it.
Did you say fuck cuck fans?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
I said fuck the cuck fans. Yep, I did.
That's not cool, all right?
I don't know if I should have said that because I am headed to Wrigley on Saturday to go watch the smoking hot Cardinals destroy the Cubs. My wife wants to go and see her cousin. There's talk of a suite, being able to sneak into a suite, rotate in, rotate out.
I mean, her cousin, you got to explain, former 108 podcast guest.
Podcast guest, former Daniel Palka teammate, fireballer, TJ McFarland. The reason for the success of the Cardinals. I have not written the blog yet. I know I teased it to you, Loaf, but there's a reason that the Cardinals are smoking people left.
Yeah, and it's definitely because
and it's TJ McFarland.
That's right, you damn right it is.
Well, you guys already started in on this, but man, let's get into some baseball talk.
Frick yeah.
Because I don't know if you guys heard, but the White Sox clinched the division today.
Clinch.
I don't know if you heard about it.
Fuck
Well,
yeah.
maybe you weren't paying attention. Maybe no one went up there and told you. You've gone a long time. But so beef. I'm thinking. I'm thinking today.
Barely.
2008. Last time they won a division.
Yep.
I know where you and I were.
Yes,
Right.
sir.
We were at the blackout game. We were having a great time. But it made me wonder, where was my Sox summer? And so I'm going to try and guess. And Beef, you can give a guess too if you'd like. But so I'm pretty sure he was out west.
Yep.
Which means that game started at like 4:30. So I'm assuming MSS, you gave some bullshit excuse to work and said like, oh, I gotta go. I got to drive someone to the airport, or I've got a doctor's appointment, or my foot hurts or something. So, foot hurts is more of a bullshit excuse you give us. But so
exactly.
You get out of work, and then I assume you go to like some like sports bar-ish, but kind of divey place, probably porn actors might hang out at, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You somehow convince them to put the White Sox game on. I don't know. You're a smooth talker, so I assume that was not a problem.
That's true.
And then after many Bud Heavies, you're sitting there and you're telling people, I used to live out in the Midwest. I think that's the vibe that I'm thinking of you enjoying the blackout game in.
I'm trying to remember this, and I know I have a towel from the blackout game. They gave him away because I know Farmer Matt and his wonderful wife went to that game.
It's just a black towel, though, right?
No, it's a white towel, which is very weird. That's what it was. But maybe it was just like when they were giving away at the park. It might not have had anything to do with the blackout. I'm somewhat positive. I skipped the gym day to go to the bar, center field, that bar that I used to hang out over in Huntington off of I don't remember what it is, but big main street, Slater. It was like Beach and Slater. Beach Avenue, Slater. And it was my local bar. So the Sox would have been on anyway because they know who's coming. So
I envision, this is kind of close to what I was envisioning. I envisioned MSS not taking off of work, bouncing at a bar, but being inside the door so he can keep an eye on the game. But he's making money at the same time. He's earning, and he's fucking watching the game, ripping heaters and shit.
Definitely.
And then after for the celebration, that's a night full of blow where he's hitting on curvy blonde women. That's I could see his. That's the celebration for him. Like we went to Kroll's Treasy and celebrated. MSS, pile cocaine, curvy blonde women all around.
I don't know.
He rips open a Beanie Baby full of cocaine.
Just comes spilling out
I
everywhere.
can't remember the dating situation that was happening at this time. It was 2008. Yeah, 2008. I still was employed, so I did have a job. So I definitely somehow got out of the job or just went late. I probably might have just went late. Like I might not have watched the whole game. And because I didn't have the job the last 2 years I was there. Long story. We'll talk about it some other time. And then no, I don't remember the dating situation. So, but if somebody was offering, I was taking. So then there was, and if there was cocaine involved,
not hungry, but will
potentially.
eat.
I mean, potentially. Like I was just telling you guys last weekend or whatever that there was a guy in Cali that just used to get insanely good cocaine. I mean, it was just not fair because I barely, it may mostly kept me away from any other type of cocaine because his was so good. It was like, I don't even want to ruin this nose with your garbage that has been stomped down 19 times from Mexico. No, thank you.
Sounds like we got better connects in Mexico, Beef. So
I think so. Stick with the forbidden tequila. Leave the cocaine alone.
That's never been my jam. You got a nose this big, you can't afford that kind of addiction. So fellas, I don't
want to see your brother on cocaine either. By the way,
God, I
don't need up enough already.
No energy, no more energy.
Don't need that.
Guy would bounce right off of his exercise ball. So how are you guys feeling about this division win? My sex summer, I'm going to go to you first because I feel like you're uneasy. I feel like you're uneasy about this.
I'm not uneasy. I'm not. And I keep telling myself a lot of things over and over. Like I'm not in celebratory, like crazy celebratory mode, right? Like because this was expected. Like, and I feel like it was, and I know that people come out and lay out flat, right? And I think it just hasn't hit me fully yet because as I'm sitting here thinking about it, you had your top guys that are out almost the entire year. You had guys that were supposed to be difference makers the whole fucking time, not there. You had guys that weren't supposed to be doing anything, productive offensively. I
mean, read that one, Treasy. Read that.
He's not wrong.
The White Sox sale says MSS's Coke connection was better than his current internet connection.
It was a pretty awesome one. But no, the what they did with what they were given was awesome. I mean, and it's like they got so far ahead with like next guy up guys. And then, like now, we're on the cusp of going and doing something good or great, right? Like they did something good. We got here. I don't want to say that we smooth into it. We sailed right into it with ease. But I have to like stop second guessing a lot of these things because I'm second guessing a lot of it, and it's not necessarily. I don't know. It's just not healthy. Like it's like I should just take it from face value and say, this is good. What they've done is good. What they've overcome is excellent. And like, let's just enjoy this. And I should just be enjoying this, not thinking about the next step. And that's where I need to start. I need a rest. What about you guys?
You need a rest, dude.
No, I need to come to rest in that valley of like just being happy.
Because I need to collect my thoughts after this shit.
After all that.
That was too much.
I think you're full of shit. That's why I got a problem with that.
Bring it.
Hey, you know what? You're not alone, my sex summer. I think there's a lot of people feeling like you right now.
And that are full of shit. But no, I was in the office today. I couldn't go in the office on Monday. I had to stay home with my daughter, whatever. I went in the office. I'm watching it on my phone because you can't get MLB.TV, but I could hook into the, my apps or whatever, the, NBC Sports Channel app. So I hooked into that shit and I'm watching it just on my phone or whatever. And when they clinched, no one's in the office. I go, Yeah, it's really loud like that. And then, in Rudy at the end where Charles S. Dutton gives that like clap that's like a real angry but excited clap. I mean, the movie Rudy sucks balls, but that scene right there is awesome, right? Because he's really rooting for. That was me in The Office. I wasn't in blackface. It was just me, but doing the clap like Charles S. Dutton right there. And I really I was excited, and I even had to gather myself before I went on the spaces with Josh and Bennett Carroll and Zoe and Laz and those guys, because I'm like, I got to calm down, man. I'm a little hyped up right now. I might have a little too much fire for that thing. But thinking a little bit back in retrospect, there's been a lot of out there, the division sucks, so it's not that big of a deal that they won this, and they haven't been playing that good, and they've been they're backing into this title and stuff. All of that is such fucking bullshit, man. The reason why the division looks like it's weak in hindsight is because before the season, Cleveland saw our huge fucking dongs and they were terrified of them, and they got rid of everything. It's like, we're not competing with that. We don't want that monster that close to us. And then the Twins thought they could take it on, but then in the regular season, we fucked the shit out of them and beat them 13 out of 19 games and demoralized them. So the reason why, in hindsight, the division looks like shit is because of us. They were scared of us, and we whooped their ass. So I apologize for nothing. We deserve to win the division by a lot, and I don't know if anyone else would have came in here and whooped ass like we did. Maybe they would have. Maybe they wouldn't have.
We know they wouldn't, because the Twins were supposed to.
They were supposed to,
right? This was supposed to be the Twins division.
Yeah.
They're like, everyone had the Twins and the Sox neck and neck, and most people, even in Sox Twitter, I was one of them, was like, I don't know if they're going to win the division. It's going to be really close between them and the Twins. But you know what happened? They were similar on paper, and the Sox came out. They had injuries, and they still said, fuck this. We're going to run over this shitty division. And now, Twins, you're the worst part of this division now, because fuck you guys. And I love that. How could you not be excited about that? And, I get it. What you're like, hey, we're not at the end of the road here. Sure, we're not.
No, and it's not.
I fucking had a party when I graduated high school. I had a party when I graduated college, man. I had a party when I got my first job. I had a party when I'm not done, but guess what, man? I'm gonna fucking party right through all of this shit.
Right, celebrate it on the way,
awesome.
baby.
Why can't we enjoy it?
Celebrate.
You're kind of still at your first job, though. So I mean, I understand that, right?
Oh, bullshit, man. I'm at I've been at my job for 15 years. It's like my 7th job. I'm 142 years old. I've seen a lot of things, man.
Listen, I get it. It isn't some menial accomplishment, and I think that's the thing. But I also think that it's like, and a guy said it in the chat, and I can't remember who said it, and I apologize. But like they're not playing the best baseball right now. And so that's part of it. Like it's a little bit frustrating, I guess, to a kind of a certain extent. And I can see that from people. Yeah. I don't know if it's fair. But I feel like one of the things that I need to do right now, and I think a lot of people need to do, is you need to trust the process, because there's something bigger at play here that we might not necessarily know about. And maybe you guys know about it, and that's why you're excited, because we're like, oh, well, maybe Tony Russa isn't the right call. Apparently he was. Hey, Carlos Rodon, I don't know if we should even bring him back. Well, it was the right thing. So I just yes, that's it. And it's kind of, I don't know. It's just it's rough. I'm believing in this, and I'm gonna let it see its way through, because I think that they're gonna get amped. But I heard Tim say in a post game today, he's like, now it's time to play real baseball. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I like hearing that, Tim. So, like, is the team that's been playing fake baseball the last couple of weeks and just seeing what happens coasting in? Or are we like, and are we going to get psyched up? Or are they going to get amped up and go into the playoffs? Because when we're playing the Rays or the Astros, it ain't going to be like this. Like, we're not going to just be able to beat a team just because we want to beat them, which I don't even know if they can. So we'll see.
My Sox Summer, if they hit a bunch of home runs, they will beat the shit out of you.
That's true.
And that's
true.
That's the thing. I think a lot of people are worried going into the playoffs. But what are the playoffs all about? It's about good pitching.
That's
and
right.
about hitting home runs.
That's right.
And are you worried about our starting pitching or about
Not really
our ability to hit home runs? The most worried I am is about one guy in the starting rotation, and we'll get to him in a second.
soon.
But we have the pitching, and we have guys that hit home runs. They haven't hit as many as I'd like, but that doesn't mean that is not there. You can't look at this lineup, and I'd say maybe with the exception of Billy Hamilton, and say, like, if this guy's up in an important spot, he can hit a home run. You know everyone in the lineup can do it.
Yep.
Right? Even Lurie Garcia's smacking the ball around. Right?
Lurie Legend, baby. Lurie Legend.
But I mean, like, think I was
And
watching
how
the
terrifying is that?
I was watching the game earlier, the game 2, which was not good.
Not at all.
But when they had the bases loaded, every guy that came up, I was like, oh, perfect time for this guy to hit a grand slam. And like, I had no doubt that they could.
So I guess I ask you this: if you clinch in the first game of a doubleheader, that second game has to be the biggest blue ball game of all time.
Oh yeah,
right? Because it's like
the lineup?
you just like I mean. No, I didn't. Dude.
Andrew Vaughn was playing third. They activated Andrew Vaughn and played him at third for the entire game.
Awesome.
Like this is the kind of lineup they had. The guy who drew the short straw, MSS, was Yasmani Grandal. He had the DH in that game. He's the only one of the like star regulars that had to play in that fucked up game. And I would have been so mad if I was him, man. I would have been pissed that I didn't get to sit on the bench and jag around with all the other guys. He had to go in there and actually fucking play. That lineup was absolutely ridiculous.
Yes.
And they almost won. They should have won that game.
Sal just said it. He's like, he just said his Vaughn's back healed. And it's like, yeah, because when the guy has back problems, the best place to put him is third base. Like, that's definitely probably the best place to put him.
They said it during the telecast. Stoney was like, his swing's looking good. He's looking good at third base. He looks pretty healed up. And it's just like, well, he was never hurt. So, yeah, it's pretty easy to heal up from nothing.
He was in the Bahamas with Tupac, man. He wasn't injured, man. They just need to give him a little
Tupac hologram. The Tupac hologram.
MSS, I feel some of what you're saying because I'm the first guy who's like, hey, man, the only goal is the goddamn World Series. And we're going to be disappointed if they get knocked out anywhere before then.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean we can't celebrate a little bit along the way and really enjoy these steps.
Oh, agreed. And I think that's what it is. Like, instead of looking big picture, which, I mean, you guys know I do all the time. I'm a big picture guy. I'm not just like, hey, let's go day to day. I'm never, hey, let's just go day to day. I'm always like, eyes on the prize. This is where we're headed. Okay. This is how I am. But no, it is. It's hard to like turn that off, right? Like just be like, But I don't agree with some of the callers that you guys had on your spaces or the commenters that were in the spaces with Josh Nelson, and they were saying, "Yo, if we win the division, that's great. This is really good." No, it's not. Like I like it, but I want something more. And knowing that there's a shelf life attached to this team, like but we can still enjoy this today. I get it.
I think MSS, the only thing I would clarify on what you said is that, like, winning the division is not enough, but it is good. And
it's good.
You should enjoy it. And like, everyone, I look at the comments tonight and everyone is enjoying the hell out of themselves. I can feel it. I can tell just by some of the typing how open some of these people's eyes are.
Yes.
And it's not a lot. No, and I love it.
It's not. I mean, look at the celebration this year compared to clinching the playoffs last year. The clinch on the playoffs last year, people were excited, but it was nothing compared to what today was. Today was outrageous all over the internet.
Look how fucking early in the season it is that we clinched.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
it's not bad.
You got to appreciate it. You got to enjoy it. Gotta love it.
I am enjoying it.
Enjoy it, you asshole.
Yeah. I'm enjoying it, but I'm not
I'm gonna show up like Bobcat Goldthwait with a shotgun and make you enjoy this Christmas.
You know what we need to do? We need to go JPP style, and we'll get a Roman candle, stick it out of MSS's ass, and let it shoot in the air. Then I'll really be excited to enjoy the shit out of this. Something exciting for the guy.
He'll enjoy the shit out of it, literally.
I bought 2 more tickets for every fucking round of the playoffs, right? Except for the World Series, because they wouldn't give them to me yet. So, I mean, I put my money in my excitement Don't get me wrong. So like I'm making sure that my cousin, my wife, my dad, everyone is taken care of going into the postseason. So I am excited. And I am excited. I don't want it to sound like that. I guess it's just, like I said, I'm a big picture guy. I'm always looking ahead. Always looking ahead.
I love it. And well,
no, you don't.
Let's look ahead a little bit.
MSS, fuck you.
Hey,
right,
suck it.
move on.
You can suck it.
Let's look at one Carlos Rodon.
Oh, man.
He's a little banged up right now.
Possibly.
Beef, why don't you tell us what happened?
Will do. So let's set the table for the Rodon discussion. Carlos Rodon was pitching on Monday night in Detroit. He had 9 days rest, and he came out guns a-blazing. He was throwing 94, 95 with the fastball. But then his outing ended abruptly after 3 innings with minimal damage in the actual game. And the last fastball he threw was a 4-seamer at 89 miles per hour. And after the game, Tony La Russa came out and said he was concerned. And then Carlos kind of did a 180 on that. His presser just said soreness, and he wouldn't talk about it further. Didn't discuss anymore. I decided to go to Baseball Savant, which I rarely do, and look at the pitch log from the game because I thought, oh man, I'm watching the game, but I'm not paying that close of attention to every single pitch velocity. And what it looked like during the game was that he mixed in a handful of 4-seamers that dipped down into the 89, 91 mile per hour range. And then the rest of it was 93 to 95 range. So I don't know if it's a case of he was trying to be deceptive and like throw a lower speed fastball at points in this, or if his goddamn arm was hurting so fucking bad that he couldn't keep up the intensity he needed to keep the velocity up the whole time. So he had dips during the actual game. I don't know what the deal was there. I'm not sure if it was like purposeful thing because he did get swing and misses and shit on the 89. Like he ended that inning with the strikeout with that kind of lower register fastball. So I'm not exactly sure, what the deal is. One thought I had was I wonder if this was a deep fake, and Tony La Russa is setting the stage for this bullshit thing where he's going to be like, oh, you know what? I'm worried about him, And I don't know if you guys remember, Crochet went in the game right afterwards, and they had to fix the mound. Right? The mound was fucked up because of I wonder if Rodon was like, the mound's fucked up, pull me out of this game. I don't want to risk getting hurt. And then they pull him out. I was like, oh, well, he wasn't feeling right or whatever. And they do a deep fake. And then when you get to the playoffs, Rodon's fine. He's absolutely perfect. And Tony, he pulled the rug out from these motherfuckers. What do you guys think?
First off,
the beefanon over here.
The perfect part about your whole story is like Rodon's like, this mound's fucked up. Hey, get the future out here. Let him get fucked up on this mound. All right, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. Yeah, like not like, hey, let's fix the mound, guys. It's like, no, don't even fuck with it. Let him get out of here.
Bennett Carroll's in the comments saying that's not what a deep fake is. I don't care, Ben. All right,
shut up, Ben.
I don't know what anything is. All right, leave me
Go back to Sirius XM Pandora, whatever streaming fucking thing it is. Go.
Banter, we're going to use whatever words we want. I think you should know that. I know.
As long as they're close to something that means something, I think it's okay. It's a fair play.
You know what, Bennett? Maybe
he's going to strangle himself with that thing.
It's possible it was a deep fake, though, Bennett. Maybe that was someone completely different pitching. That's why it was slower. That was Keuchel out there. So fuck you. So
Josh says that's the most insane conspiracy theory he's ever heard. And he also drank a bottle of Prosecco today. So I'm just saying. Not champagne, Prosecco.
Well, what do you guys think about Carlos Rodon then?
Well, first, I think
I'm full of shit. They don't know what they're talking about.
I think the better conspiracy theory was My Sock Summers. Dallas Keuchel threw a game in the playoffs last year to get Ricky Renteria fired. I think that's a better conspiracy theory.
Chris, point one, he said right after it, good things are coming to the White Sox. Trust me. And then they didn't happen initially. So anyway, go ahead. Now he sucks.
So I'll say, like, I think, I think that he was actually hurt. I'm going to disagree with you. But it could just very well be like he needs some more rest. Like this is a lot of pitches on Carlos Rodon's arm.
Yeah.
Like we know his career. He just hasn't pitched that much. Right. And I think that what you're going to see, and we'll get in the next part of this, is like the red start is supposed to be his next start.
Yep.
I think he'll make that start, but I think it's going to be like 3 innings. And so this leaves us in kind of a precarious position looking forward, right? Because you're like, all I've got to go off is like a couple innings in this game. He's not going to have another chance to pitch, right? There's not going to be another regular season game in which he pitches.
Yeah,
it's going to be Tuesday, and that's it. And so now, based off of whatever he does in that game, now obviously, if he comes out in that game and can't throw a ball over 91 miles per hour, we know what it is, and you got to deal with that for the playoffs. If he pitches fine and they only use him like three innings or something like that, well then, like, when does he pitch in the playoffs? Like, where do you put him in? Where do you feel comfortable saying I'm going to pitch Carlos Rodon this day?
Right.
And how much do you think you're going to get out of him? And I think I get concerned about that. And I'll let you guys jump in on if you think he'll make the start against the Reds. I have more about like what he's going to do in the playoffs, but like, do you think he'll actually make that start against the Reds?
100%. Tuesday is going to be a big day. You're going to have Jose Abreu giving his MVP bobblehead's going to be there. So if anyone wants to get there early and come with me, that'd be great. Probably won't. Carlos Rodon is going to pitch, and I think he's going to do it. I think he's going to get out. I think you're right. Do you see any other starters going more than 3 innings? I don't really see it. You just want to get them out there and let them go for a little while, right?
No, I think the regular guys will go.
You think you're going to still throw Lance Lynn?
Lynn and Giolito, I would assume, are going to go like 5-6 innings.
Okay.
Sure.
All right,
to get prepped for the.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure how deep they'll make any of them go.
I don't think they're going to go that deep.
They might not go that deep
because one of the things that like we know that these first 3 guys are probably okay. If Rodon comes out and doesn't lay an egg, okay. If he does that, he's got the velocity and he's hitting his spots. I think we're going to have to go with him, and he's going to continue on in the playoffs. So then you're going to have to say your first 3 guys are fine. Now, and then the next part is like the craziness of like who is going to come in and pitch relief out of that shit. So like that's what you got to see more. So you might want to use some of those innings on those guys.
I'll be honest with you guys. I don't think he's going to make that start.
No,
because he can't come out and go all Willis Reed in the ALDS if he blows the doors off the Reds and fucks up Joey Votto and everybody else. So I think they got to skip him. They're going to say he's still dealing with soreness. He got tenderness. He's got a pulled pork sandwich. It's like when Shaq was out with the pulled pork sandwich. He's got the shoulder and it's a little tender, and he's gonna have to sit out.
You're committing to this bullshit. Then is what I'm hearing.
I think they got a slight ruse going on here, and I think they're gonna ride it out. And I don't think we'll see him again until a playoff game.
So wait, Teresi, the man is saying first off, okay, Josh Nelson's head probably just exploded. First, he's saying he's not really hurt. The mound's fucked up. He needs to get out of there. So it's a big ruse. Yeah. Now he's not even making the start because he's actually hurt.
No. He's saying they're building it up more. This is part of the fake out.
Okay. Well, it worked on the fat guy, so maybe it will work on everybody else. I don't know.
Now I'm starting to buy in.
I'm buying in now.
Now, skip the start, towel drill, and then we're going to line them up for the Astros or the Rays. I'm hearing rumors that the Rays are kind of like stumbling back a little bit. We might end up playing them in their dungeon.
Yeah. I think that I think he's going to play. I think he's going to start that game. I think he does.
I think Rodon is actually not too banged up, but he's a little banged up.
Yeah.
And, if you want a different conspiracy theory, Rick Hahn's behind the scenes going, just don't give him too many innings. Make it seem like he's a little more hurt than he is. We're gonna get this contract worked out for the.
Jesus fucking Christ! Fuck!
You drew me in, beef. You drew me in. Now I'm all conspiracying myself.
If I could just get the chat drawn in now. The chat they're not involved. They don't
get him. Get him a tinfoil hat too.
Chat, tell us your favorite conspiracy theory. Is it that we never landed on the moon? All right.
The reptilian people.
That's true.
He was actually a documentary. It wasn't
the moon is a spaceship.
Yeah.
All right. So Beef, I'll start with you because yours is going to be the most ridiculous. But how is he deployed in the playoffs then?
I mean, he's deployed exactly the way he has been all year. He's going to be a starter. I would put him in game 3, and I think he'll be marvelous. He'll come out of there, and he'll be extremely well rested, obviously, because he does do better when he has longer rest. So having a nice long rest for him, he'll come out throwing BBs, and he'll be terrific. And again, they won't worry about it the rest of the playoffs. We'll forget about that whole story, that whole storyline on that at the shoulder or whatever. He'll be good going the rest of the way.
Interesting.
MSS, where are you putting him in the playoffs? If he's assuming he's healthy,
if Los is healthy, he's gonna blow the doors off. Don't even trip. That's what I wrote. That's my quote. Don't even trip. That he's gonna be fine. Yeah, no, I think he'll be fine. And I think he is definitely your solid number 3 starter. And if he's not, you got Cease that just flies right up in there and fits in there just fine. And then that creates a new headache. But
see, that's where it gets a little sketchy for me.
Yeah,
my Sock Summer. So if let's say Los is healthy, but they decide they're a little worried about it, I could see them moving Cease into game 3 and saving Carlos for 4, giving him an extra day or something. But I think that scares me more than anything, because then you have Carlos when you don't know what he's going to be able to give you,
and a potential save. Yeah.
And you don't know what Cease is going to do the day before, right? So if Cease needs to use up a bunch of the bullpen, and now you got Carlos who's struggling, and you need bullpen, it's going to be bad. So I think I'm with you guys on game 3.
Man,
I think game 3 is where you go, because if you let's say Carlos comes out and he pitches 1 or 2 innings and it's not looking right, and you just pull him, and you put either Kopech or Raylo in.
You swap in the other Carlos for him. Real Carlos.
That's the deep fake. But so I would say I'd say you put in you put a righty in who can go a few innings, and it would be Kopech or Raylo, right? That's who I would assume. And you almost try and treat them as the starter then, and just assume those 2 innings are relief innings. And that can happen in game 3. That's a very risky proposition in game 4, because you don't know what has happened in game 3. So I think if any game he's going to start, it's going to be 3. You don't put him in 1 or 2, because 1 or 2, you might want those guys in game 4 or 5.
Right.
So and you're not pitching Carlos 3 days. I think we can all agree on that. Even if he's perfectly healthy, we're not throwing him on short rest. We're not using him in relief.
No, we are not.
He's the starter only, 1 start per series, unless he starts game 1 and it's a 7-game series. You might use him in 7. That's the only scenario. I think we all agree on that.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's correct.
No. Yeah. You're not wrong. That's not wrong.
But speaking of, go ahead, my second one.
No. You're good.
I was
looking at some of these comments, and some of them are kind of funny.
I can't keep up with the comments, which I love.
The one that I'm not sure if the Great Bambino is serious right now, assuming that Keuchel won't start any games in the postseasons. And I think he's saying, God, I hope not, that he doesn't start any. I just want some clarification from him on that, because God, I hope not, that we're assuming that he won't start is kind of worrying me. The guy can't start yet. Unless there's a tragic situation. He cannot. He's not making a start. He is not. He is our 5th best pitcher.
There would need to be a plane crash for him to start a game.
We need Lucas Giolito to get leprosy and his arm falls off. And I don't think it happens that quickly. I haven't read the Bible in a while, but I don't think it just falls off immediately. So I don't think we're going to have to worry about it. So.
Half the team would have to get eaten by cannibals for Dallas Keuchel to
the leprosy would help with the cannibals, because the limbs would just fall off. You wouldn't have to
you can't eat you can't eat leopard meat.
Why not?
Well, you can eat leopard meat, but you can't eat leopard meat. Sorry.
All within the realm of possibilities, obviously.
Speaking of that, and absolutely not speaking of that. So Tony La Russa and Hahn have been kind of going with a Greg Popovich approach to resting up the starters, keeping everyone fresh going into the playoffs. And I think it's being met with mixed results, not only on the field but from the fans and from Twitter. Twitter is a very understanding place generally, but
nuanced, very nuanced. Yeah.
You know, and open to new ideas. But in this case,
100% like anal.
They do not seem to be a fan of this. And, you know, like, I want to ask you guys if this is bothering you. And if you're thinking, you know, like there's a resting versus rusting kind of thing that people are talking about. And so I want to get from you guys, what do you think? Do you feel like this is a good thing? Do you feel like he's going the wrong way? Beef, why don't you kick it off? Let me know what you think about this.
Yeah, sounds good. I mean, like, just watching it day to day, you know, as an individual watching the game, it is a little bothersome because you're watching a team that's not playing as well as you think they can play. Right. And part of the reason they're not playing as well is they don't have all their parts in there. And it's self-induced. It's not, guy X had an injury, and so he's forced to go on the injured list. It is more, guy X, we're going to give you a fake injury. You're going to go on the injured list for a while. And so, you know, even though the games are like, you know, kind of were deemed meaningless, and I guess maybe they were because they clinched kind of rather easily today, it's still frustrating as a fan to watch that. Secondly, like, our human brains are easily fooled watching this, thinking, oh, shit, look how bad we look, man, in this game against Detroit or whoever. This is how we're going to look in the playoffs, man. And so it's like, for us, it's more of a comfort. Like, it's not comfortable to kind of watch this and see it, and then we're like, oh shit, is this what it's going to look like? And then you see a lot of people going the other way. And it's like, we haven't had our full lineup together, so when they get together, they're going to be fucking great, you know. But you don't know. Your brain doesn't. It can't extrapolate and say, oh yes, yeah, with those other guys, we're terrific, you know, because you haven't really even seen it yet.
You've only seen them like under 10 times. Your full lineup has been under 10 times. So, like, how can you draw a conclusion on under 10 times?
Right. And it's true because, especially, the other thing that, you know, I've been thinking about this a lot. It doesn't really fit in anywhere else in here, but we expect so much out of the especially the position player sides. Who are the accomplished players on the position player side? People that have accomplished real shit. Abreu, Tim Anderson won a batting title. Who the fuck else? Right? All of this is kind of betting on the come. Yasmani Grandal has a solid base of production. Nothing like the crazy shit he's producing so far this year. So even that is like, that's good, but he's way out kicking his coverage, so to speak. So it gets murky there with my brain's like, man, shit, we're really depending on like Eloy to be this world beater, which I think he can be, but he hasn't really been yet. I don't know if he's going to be one, you know?
He's been hurt.
He's been hurt, exactly. We don't know.
You guys know what pisses me off about all this?
Yeah, let's hear
the comment section.
No, I love the comments.
I love the comments. The comments are killing it right now.
My Suck Summer, after the podcast, I'll teach you about what betting on the come means. It's a craps term.
Okay.
It's not a sexy term.
I was like, can we bet on pornography? Because I'm always taking guy's gonna come. Guy's gonna come. Guy's gonna come. Guy's gonna come. It seems like a simple bet to make.
My Suck Summer's a millionaire.
Fitz, can you go down to the Nugget for me and bet on the come, please? They're always gonna come. In my experience, anyway, that's what I've seen on the videos. They always come. Sometimes a little early, but always they're always coming. Incredible. This is when my wife will walk downstairs and be like, why are you so loud when you're talking about this fucking podcast? I thought this was a baseball thing, and you're talking about pornography and cum. What's going on?
Then it's taking the over on the jizz. He must be watching a Peter North film.
The Peter North Stars.
Yeah.
So great floor hockey team. Here's what pisses me off. In pretty much every other sports instance, everyone wants to compare it to their own job, right? Oh, I'd never get away with that at my job.
Oh,
well, what if I did this at my job? What would people say? You know, it's always my job when it's something that's detrimental to the player, right? Yeah. Like, oh, you couldn't do that at my job. How could you fucking possibly get away with that doing this? Now, a guy gets an extra day off. And no one's comparing that to their job. Like, if they got an extra day off, like, they'd forget how to do their fucking job forever. Yes. Like they come back from Labor Day weekend and like, right. Where do I work? I didn't even know how to get in the building.
And a lot of people have been working from home. So like you're definitely jacking off jerking around way more than you ever have been now that you're at home, right? Like seriously. And I don't mean jacking off in the sense of actually jerking it.
Not where I was going, but I see you're still
focused on porn brain. He's got porn brain on the
Cubs.
What I'm saying,
he's tunneled in.
What you're saying at my job, like you want to get away with this, and I was like bridging the gap, as they say, with the fucking like into like they're lazy, they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. You should be working hard 24/7, and I'm saying nobody works hard at their job 24/7.
Right. No, yeah,
and what I'm saying.
And that's I'm with you. But
I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I fucked that up. I'm sorry.
No. I think we're saying similar things. I just you threw jacking off at your computer during work from home. It threw me off a little bit. All right.
Well, but you know what? That's probably happening too, but I wasn't gonna say that.
I've somehow recovered from it. Almost like Major League Baseball players who have done this as a professional career for years can probably bounce back from a day off.
I'm gonna think yes. I would assume so. I would assume
you gotta really think about it though. Like think about it this way. When you are doing something very strenuous, days on end,
yep,
that day off doesn't fuck with your ability to do that.
No.
It just helps you feel better. Like your body has time to heal.
Yes, gives you a fucking break. It's why
these guys generally don't get that. It's not a normal thing that happens. That's why PEDs have been rampant in baseball since like the 1950s.
Yeah, it's recovery.
Right? And
the recovery.
It's never been about even in the steroid era. Most of the steroid guys that got busted were about trying to recover from injury as opposed to just trying to become big monsters like Barry Bonds. But like the PED thing has always been about staying focused over this long, strenuous season, over all this travel, over doing all these things. So when you see a guy get DL'd after a home series and then the away series go, and then what day does he come back on a home game? He hasn't had to travel. This has been designed to keep him at home.
To keep him in his own bed every night. Yep.
This is
jerk off.
This is
and jerk off.
In Andrew Vaughn's case.
Hey, home. Sometimes home is where the heart is. And so you got to take that into account too. But like I think that's the thing that people are missing. Like it's not like guys are just going to forget all of their fundamentals. Yeah, a guy could get rusty after 10 days, and they're going to take a couple at bats to get back. But not a lot of at bats. How long does it take Timmy to get back to feeling like right back in place? Because I feel like he had a pretty damn good game today.
He did.
He absolutely did. Now, Teresi, let me ask you, and Wolf, I'll ask you the same question. You guys can answer the same way. So now, do you buy into any of the things when they're like, oh shit! Fucking goddamn it! And Kimbrel can't pitch in the 8th because he's so fucking like tuned into pitching in the 9th. You put no stock in that.
No stock.
He can't pitch in the 9th either.
Well, that's true. I mean, you're not wrong. But like, there's all these people that are like, oh, you're trying to. Go ahead.
All you had to do was look back to his Cubs tenure, and he had kind of gotten off track and he wasn't very good. And then when he built this shit back up and he pitched great in 2020, most of that was in non-save situations, and he was pitching a lot in the 7th and 8th inning, and he was pitching terrific. So like, there's a lot of evidence of like that's total bullshit. People kind of make up narratives like that.
Well,
I'm sure there is some psychological effect to I have X role, and this is what I do. And when you come to work every day, you're doing that. I'm not discounting that does exist in some capacity, but I think it's loose. I think it's a little flimsy. People can adapt to a new role pretty quickly. I
think though, Beef, there is a correlation to regular jobs could be made here, right? Now, Kimbrel was out there closing, for the Cubs, right? But the Cubs ain't going nowhere, right? Like, so I think people will make a move in their career to go either lateral or even a little bit below.
Yep.
If they're at a company that's going down the shitter.
Yeah, right. And they got more upside at the next spot. Yeah.
So when he got traded, if he took that and looked at it like, oh, I'm getting demoted in my position, that's a fucking bullshit way to look at it. When you go like, bullshit. I get another chance to pitch in the playoffs
for sure,
and just polish up this Hall of Fame resume. Like that's the way that he should be looking at it. I assume that's the way he is looking at it.
Yeah, right.
He's just been having some problems.
Who wouldn't want yes. Who wouldn't want somebody else that's elite, like doing their job with them, right? Like if you're gonna tag team something and like go for something that's greatness, right? Like it would be great to have somebody that's just as good as you, and maybe you gotta get out of your comfort zone a little bit, but like, hey, it's the same thing. Just fucking make it work. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like, Tony's like, hey, come in and get 6 outs. He just needs him to get 3 outs. And then he needs, fucking the Aussie guy to get fucking 3 outs too. You're not asking him to do more. You're just asking him to do what you do. Just do it a little earlier. It's like, hey, maybe come into work at 7:30 instead of 9:30. You fucking loser. Like that's what they're saying. So I get it. Like. And it shouldn't, right? Like it shouldn't. I just wonder if it does. Like I wonder if there's a head thing. I wonder if there's like some of that. But if there is, then maybe he's got more problems than we know. Maybe who knows?
It's possible.
It is possible.
So then the last thing, and we'll get into here. Well, actually, before we get into the last thing on this one,
let's
talk about. We are resting players, and we're going down the stretch, and so. One thing that is at stake, because the division is not at stake. We won the division, guys.
Cleaned it up, baby. Fuck
that shit's over.
Cheers.
But home field advantage in round 1 is still at stake.
Yeah.
And now we're a little bit away.
It's kind of still at stake.
I would say, wait a second. How close is it? Is it really close?
We've kind of given that away.
Yeah,
to rest, right?
Yes. And chose the rest path for sure. Yeah.
How do you guys feel about that choice? That we're choosing rest over home field advantage, especially this team is not even close to as good on the road as they are at home.
Yeah, I mean, I'm reticent to say I put this in the agenda only because I was going to write a blog about it, and then the Astros took off and hid, and so now it's not really blog worthy anymore. But it was a month-ish ago when the White Sox decided they were going to start resting people. The thought was, okay, we'll take health over the chance to have home field advantage. And home field advantage wasn't just that round back then. They could have caught the Rays too. I mean, if they wanted to push it and try to have the best record in the AL. And so you're going to guarantee yourself some more home games. And what I see a lot of, and I just want to talk to the points a little bit, and then feel free to make fun of me as we go, or if it's too boring, you squash the whole segment. But I see a lot of the stats guys, they hand wave away the home field advantage thing because they say playoffs, it's a crapshoot, which obviously, that's a small sample. There's going to be a lot of variance in a 5-game series, or first team to win 3 or first team to win 4 series. There's going to be a lot of variance there. But it doesn't mean you hand wave away all home field advantage. I was doing some quick calculations with some betting lines before this, and I was looking at the Astros versus the White Sox. And by my estimation, losing home field advantage in that series is about a 5 to 7% swing in your probability of winning that series. That's not nothing. I mean, I'd like to have an extra 5% of my 401k. I'd like to have a 5% less payment for my mortgage. I'd like to have, 5% would go a long way in a lot of different things. I'd like to be 5% more confident in that fart that I was going to trust, and have 5% more success rate and not crap in my pants, So like, that's not a kind of a zero right there. Right. So, and one of the things too, I think people get confused about the resting thing. Okay. You rest a player, and I agree that that's good. I'm all for that shit. I love that the NBA does that, and I wish that all the sports leagues would kind of realize the power of and they're starting getting a good night's sleep and resting, etc. However, it's not hurt. It's not like you went from hurt guy to perfectly healthy guy. What you're going from when you rest Tim Anderson for 10 days is 68% Tim Anderson. 68% effective Tim Anderson to 79% effective Tim Anderson. Or Lance Lynn, if you rest him for 10 days, it is 65% effective Lance Lynn to 71% effective Lance Lynn. It's not, you don't go to fully healthy. They're not going all the way there. So it's a non-kind of binary thing that I think everyone just says, you go for the rest because then they're going to be healthy. And it's like, No, they're not going to be fully healthy. They'll probably be better than they were. If you kept playing them the whole way, that they're going to be worn down more if you play them the whole way. And so I think it's kind of a miss there. It's not a panacea. Resting a guy is not a complete panacea, and you're seeing it because if you believe Carlos Rodon's actually hurt, okay, you weren't able to avoid that one, right? You weren't able to kind of get out of that. I think the whole resting thing, though, just politically, is easier for these coaches and GMs and stuff, because you'll never hear anyone say, "Oh, they shouldn't have gave that guy extra rest to make him, healthier or whatever." You'll hear some complaining and bickering game to game, but as you get kind of to the end, you don't hear that. But you would hear it if they were Tom Thibodeauing the shit out of the Sox players and someone got hurt going for the home field advantage. So I think that there's like the risk reward there. I'm not certain. The resting might be the better play. I don't know. But we should at least consider that playing for home field advantage was worth something.
Do you think that people would get up in arms if they got hurt going for the home field advantage, or would they get up in arms if we already had home field advantage and then you rested and then you weren't resting them?
I think if we were going for it and they got hurt,
you think they'd still get hurt?
There'd be some issues, yeah.
Because the argument would be you had the division.
The division's locked. Yeah, exactly.
So why are you doing this? I agree somewhat. I disagree because I've played a lot of Mike Tyson's Punch Out, and in between rounds, you definitely gain a lot of energy back. So I'm not sure what you're talking about there, but like I'll just assume you're right. But I guess my thing is that if you had generally healthy players, and you were just resting them, I would get it. But you don't. You don't have generally healthy players. You have guys that are like fading in the back end of the season. You have guys that are hurt. You have guys that are like having actual, like your fast guys are having leg injuries.
Who's the real hurt guy that you rested?
Timmy is one. Timmy is one of them.
Timmy, I could see
right?
Timmy. Yep.
I think putting Vaughn on the DL is a reasonable thing.
You said it was a fake injury earlier in the podcast.
It is, but like he's one of the guys that's fading.
You guys need to make a flow chart so you know your lies. Get your lies straight.
He's one of the fading guys.
If you suck, you can also go on the IL. Okay.
No,
you're right, because he wasn't positively contributing to home field advantage. I agree with you. Okay, we're good.
Beef. How many innings has he ever played?
Yeah,
right.
This is a lot for him. Yeah.
So that's a ton, right? And then a guy like Giolito who looked like he was struggling. Like there could be something wrong there, and he does need some days off. Now, a guy that he may have been hurt, he may have not been. The argument I would give you is Lance Lynn. Like if Lance Lynn wasn't truly hurt, if this was just a time off thing, why was Lance Lynn given time off? Like that's if it was a fake IL stint and we were really thinking about going for the division, that's one that I could see being upset about. There's not a lot of other ones that I see that like Billy Hamilton, like he needed, that was more of a roster situation.
No, that doesn't count. I'm not talking about him. I'm just talking about the main guys that were kind of involved in this. And actually, Giolito didn't get skipped for that long. And neither did Lynn. I mean, they didn't sit out that materially long. So you're only talking about a handful of starts there. So, in the end, it's probably not that big of a deal. I just wanted to think the process because we automatically go, "Oh yeah, health."
No.
That's the right move. And it's like I'm not ready to just say it's the right move.
I don't think it is.
It could be the right move. I'm not sure, but let's talk it out.
I don't know what it is.
I agree that it's home field advantage is valuable. I don't think we can deny that. Especially with this team, right?
Well,
they're
much better.
See, baseball. See, for me, in a lot of sports, it's questionable, right? Like to me, basketball is a little bit questionable on home field advantage or home court advantage, I should say, right? Because every court is the same size, and there's not a lot of play calling. There's not a lot of communication that needs to happen. That can't happen in a basketball game due to crowd noise or things like that. So I don't think
81 games there.
I don't think that there's that much of an advantage. In baseball, Baseball is a huge advantage because you've built your team to play in your stadium. And so playing in someone else's stadium, you're playing in different dimensions. There's different intricacies to each of these stadiums in their especially in their outfield. Yeah. The infields are different. I mean, like that's an interesting thing to think about. Like when you're looking at guys, especially on the corners, the infields are built differently, so they need to play these things differently. Some infields are faster than others, so now the middle infielders are fucked by that. There's weird wall shit in all these stadiums now, and now like each of your outfielders got to deal with that, and especially when you got outfielders that are not incredibly skilled, like Luis Robert. I put him in any outfield, and I'm not worried. Right? Yeah. Billy Hamilton, I put him in the outfield. I'm not worried. But Eloy, Vaughn, Sheets, like these are guys that are going to be Goodwin. These are all going to be guys that are going to be playing the outfield at some point in the postseason, and like they're different parks, man. They got different shit. I mean, like especially you end up playing like a Boston or something like that. Really different.
Yeah, that
really different. Or so there's all of those pieces, and so home field does matter. I'm not throwing that out. What I'm saying though, and what we've talked about is the resting piece for this team is important, because I just don't think that this team, with how young they are, with how many pitchers have been incredibly healthy for this stretch of the season, like you're tempting fate to not keep them rested and take advantage of the fact that you won the division and give up home field for that.
Just take the foot off the gas a little bit.
I get the gamble. I get it. It's a close call. I'm not saying that it's a no-brainer. But like if I were betting on it, I'd bet on rest over home field with this team.
That's interesting.
That was extremely well said.
I mean, I like that you brought out the numbers, Loaf. I like that you put that stuff on, and you guys have like are big time advantage gamblers too. I mean, how much money did you min on a 5%? Difference.
That's a fortune. If you
right? I mean, that's the thing.
And you're making a 5% profit on your gambling.
We've talked about this. We've talked about this like a lot. Like, if you have a 1% advantage, 2% advantage at an at bat, like that's huge. That's a swing. Like, you're doing things. So like, I mean, I get what Teresa's saying, and I don't disagree necessarily. I think that he's right. I think you need to kind of let these guys like take a backseat, and you're playing, you're risking something, but like, I think it's probably right, because I think you've had these guys. I definitely think it's Tim Anderson, like 100%, put more out on that field this year than he probably has in the previous 2 years, because he needed to, because he hasn't had guys behind him to hit and do this shit. Like he's like had to continue to like push it for the third year, So I get that. So well, yeah, I don't know. And nothing's ever 100%. You don't know. You don't know.
We don't know any of the other shit either. Like that's the one thing we don't know what's going on in the clubhouse, man.
Right.
Like if this just works so far, right?
Like if
one of these guys we're supposed to be.
Like if one of these guys gets into the dugout or gets into the clubhouse and he like crumples over every time he gets in there because like he's just exhausted and his legs are all fucked up, and we don't see that. They're like, oh, I'm doing good out there, and then they get in the clubhouse and they're like, oh, everything hurts. Like immediately after I finish this podcast, I lay in the fetal position for 15 minutes. No one knows that, right?
I mean, we know that, but
you guys know that. Pointy knows that, she comes and kicks me and goes, "Get the bad asshole." But we don't know those pieces, right? And like those things can be happening. Like if Giolito comes in after a start and is like, my elbow, like. I would like coaches should be concerned. They should be like, I think you need some rest. I think you might. Well, let's ice that thing, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Or if Lance Lynn shows up in the locker room and he's got gout because he's eating too many steaks and too much Crystal Island beer, it's like I need a little time off, you know.
Let's ice that thing. We've heard that before too.
Too much.
Mostly Mancada after he was in Maryville, Indiana, at the Hooters. Let's ice that thing, buddy. Take it easy.
So the last thing on this topic is: does a team need late success?
Hold on. Hold on.
What?
Joseph Latham just wrote, I work at a physical job, and some days I feel like shit, even though I still show up and do it. It's a mental slog. Like, it's not the same though. Like, yes,
I think the idea is the same. I think
the same?
I think part of the rest, the help of the rest, is the mental part. I would agree with that.
All right, so that's what he's saying. He's not saying that like, oh, my job over at the Piggly Wiggly, loading fucking shelves is the same as trying to hit a 102-mile-per-hour fastball. He's not saying that, right?
I don't know what he does, but he might.
I do. He's a mailman.
Yeah, but,
mailmen are on their feet all goddamn day, moving around.
Yeah,
so 100 job.
100-degree heat. 100-degree heat, and you're walking around all fucking day, and you're picking up boxes and shit. Yeah.
Joe, I apologize for the second time. I have taken somebody's quote out of the chat and have misinterpreted it. I'm sorry. You're learning what it's like being friends with me that these guys have like had to deal with for years and years. So, Joe,
Steve-O
I get it.
You're high right now.
Steve, I am not high. I would have been talking. I would still be doing banter right now. If I was high. So
back to the topic at hand. Basically, what I'm asking is momentum real or bullshit? Like the famous show, Bullshit or Not.
Yep.
Is momentum a thing that we need to worry about? My Sock Summer, you go first. You look like you're excited about this.
I want to say that momentum matters, but I'm not sure that it does. It didn't in 2005. And I'm hopeful that Tony La Russa can pull some Izzo magic out of his hat and get this team amped. Get these guys foaming at the mouth and just destroying balls. I want to see it.
Beef, what do you think, man?
I'm the opposite. I want to say that momentum is total bullshit. And that all you really need to do is show up and hit some home runs in the playoffs. And I even
That's what I said.
That's the same My Sock Summer said.
That's what I said.
Oh, okay. I thought you wanted to say that it matters.
I want to say that it matters, but I don't think it does.
Matter. I want to say
I don't think it does.
But I think
it didn't matter in 2005.
But I think it's possible that it does, is what I'm saying. I'm saying the opposite of you. I think it's bullshit, but it's possible a little un poquito momentum might be worthwhile. I even pulled this tweet from Dan Zaborski. He said, for any White Sox fans worried about the playoffs, because the team's been decidedly meh lately, I found next to no real evidence that late season underperforming leads to playoff underperforming. And so I think in general, that's probably the case. I think that it doesn't matter. I mean, the games leading up to the playoffs don't fucking matter. Whatever happens when you show up, if you hit 4 home runs in game 1, you probably win game 1. If you got great pitching in game 2, you probably win game 2. These are kind of more standalone events, and I don't think what happened the week before matters that very much.
I'm going to split you guys right down the middle.
Oh, let's see it.
Right up the middle?
I don't think momentum matters, but I think confidence matters. And I think that there's certain guys on the team that need to go in to the playoffs very confident. And I think most of those guys are either bullpen guys or Dylan Cease. I have no worries about a kind of like Lance Lynn could shit his last 5 starts of the season, and I would be like, he's gonna be all right. It's fucking Lance Lynn. That guy. If he's hurt, you shoot up the arm with whatever numbs it up. I'm sorry, the other arm. Shoot up his left arm too. What the fuck?
Both of them. Yeah, get them all numbed up.
Give him 4 Bud Heavies. Throw them out there. These guys gonna be
Bud
fine.
Heavy. Oh man,
guy's gonna be all right. But a guy like Dylan Cease, I would love to see him end the season with like a 10 strikeout game. Like I just want him to be brimming with confidence, and I want some of these young bullpen guys to be the same, right? Like I want Tony La Russa to properly use Aaron Bummer at the end of the season and pave that path for him to be like, I'm going in the game. I know what I need to do. I'm going to fuck these guys up.
Yeah, so he's
right?
ready to go.
There's some of those guys. Kimbrel is, unfortunately, I don't know why I need to think this, but I think that he might be one of these guys that needs to get a couple good starts in him to feel confident and fire the ball to the right spot.
Not starts, relief appearance.
Relief.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
Whatever.
Keuchel
I knew what you meant.
Keuchel needs to get shot into the sun. That's a different. We'll get to that in a moment.
How dare you? Can I sidetrack for a second?
Yeah.
You bring up Cease there, and I was thinking about this the other day with the potential Rodon injury. I did not freak out. I was not like, oh shit, we're fucked with that thing. I think I made a tweet like fuck or something like that when they said it, but I'm doing that for comedic effect. But internally, I was not worried, and you know why? Because we have Dylan Cease, and usually
that is weird to say.
I couldn't believe it. I was saying it to myself. You only usually use 3 starters in the 5-game series.
Yep.
General, like most teams only do. And when you get to the 7-game series, you only use that 4th starter one time. So you could build a bullpen game. I was like, we're fine. I'm not worried about this pitching at all. We're fine. We can do this. And it was weird to say that because I would have killed Ricky Renteria if he started Dylan Cease in Game 3 last year at Oakland. I would have been so pissed off.
But Dylan Cease 2020, Dylan Cease 2021 is a different Dylan Cease.
Agreed. Yeah.
100%. Like,
you know what it is?
Put in the work.
It's a more confident Dylan Cease.
He's got a beard.
It's that. I mean, it's a lot of things. It's a lot of stuff. You know,
there's a lot of pieces to it.
Yeah.
But the games where Dylan Cease, when you're watching Dylan Cease and you feel like he's on it, you can't tell what's going on in his head, but it looks like he's just going, fuck this guy. I'm going to throw it wherever I want.
That's right. Exactly. I own you, motherfucker.
I need that Dylan Cease. I need that Dylan Cease that like the 3 a.m. coming out of the bathroom drunk going like, I look really fucking good right now.
Yep.
I'm going to go talk to some ladies because this is the best I've ever looked. And he might have vomit trickling down his beard and everything. But he's got that confidence of like, I feel this. I'm doing everything right at this moment. I don't care if it's true or not. I need that feeling out of him.
I was gonna liken it to something very similar. I was gonna say it's a little Friday. You're on the college campus. You're at the hot bar. You're like, yo, it's 1 a.m. It's almost last call. Let's take that hot lap and go make that one last final shot at that sorority chick and to see what happens. You know, like you need that confidence, and that's what he's been looking like. You know, he's just like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna throw my fire in the iron and see what happens. My iron into the fire and see what happens. Instead of the fire into the iron. Like that doesn't
chiseled out of iron. You got it.
Woo!
All right. Let's play a little game, guys.
Let's do it, baby.
A little game called Should I Stay or Should I Go? Look at those handsome fucks. Oh,
only
Joe
the old heads are
Strummer.
gonna get that one.
That?
Only the old heads get that shit right there.
That was definitely not the Village People that I listened to. That must have been the new incarnation.
How dare you? How dare you? I'm not even a fan of it.
MSS.
I'm not a Clash guy at all.
I have their box set. I like them. They're really good.
First up, should I stay or should I go? And this is obviously who's going to the playoffs. Who's going to be on the playoff roster? Should I stay or should I go? Dallas Keuchel. My Sock Summer. Kick us off.
Here we go. If Carlos Rodon is not healthy on Tuesday night, if he does not pitch, if he is pitches for 7 pitches and he is pulled out of the game, Dallas Keuchel must stay. He must be our 4th guy. He has to be our 4th guy.
Nope.
I'd take him over Raylo and pitching by committee after that. I can't do it.
Your internet even knew that.
I have to take Dallas Keuchel as my fourth guy if Carlos Rodon is not healthy.
Beef, where you at?
I was thinking about this Dallas Keuchel making the playoff roster saga in terms of some of the rumors I'm hearing about the Andy Dalton versus Justin Fields thing. I'd heard some people like assume that the reason why Dalton is getting the starting job has more to do with the fact that they went on the marketplace, they bought a free agent, they promised the free agent, they promised his agent, you're going to get this playing time or whatever. And they don't want to burn bridges, not only with the specific agent, but with like the marketplace in general. They go out there and buy a player, and they want to make good on their word, whatever they said they were going to fucking do, even though Justin Fields kind of fell in their lap and now they got a better option to go with, right? And I was thinking about that in terms of the White Sox. They had problems getting free agents to come here. I mean, we all remember that as the rebuild was going. We thought they would sign more players, and it's been a little bit of difficult. They've had to go out and make trades materially. They've gotten a few free agents, but they haven't been able to get the quality of them in here. So I was kind of wondering if, I don't know, maybe because of that, because of pedigree, and because of contract, Keuchel might end up staying. So I said I think Keuchel will stay. And I was trying to think of how do you use a Dallas Keuchel if you're in a spot where he's going to have to stay. I guess you can piggyback him with Rodon if it doesn't work out. You stay left, but different style pitchers. You can use Keuchel in a loogie spot. You need one out or you need a ground ball or something like that, and you don't have a well-rested Aaron Bummer. Look at Tracy's face. He's so don't tell you this. And obviously, if any game was extra innings, you got a guy who can eat up some innings for you. So I think Keuchel's going to stay, even though it's not very appetizing to me.
I want to vomit. Yes. So Dallas Keuchel in his last 2 starts, he's walked 6, given up 17 hits. Mm-hmm. That is not a guy you could start. That was against the Angels and Tigers. This is not a guy that you can start. He's not a starter.
I think it was 11 hits against the Tigers.
It was 11 hits.
Yeah.
Yes. The walks were all in the other game.
Yeah.
So it's just a horrific 2 games, no matter how you match it up. And he's been bad before that.
Yeah.
Not good.
The last time Dallas Keuchel had more than 3 strikeouts in a game was August 5th.
It feels like a long time ago.
That you cannot have a reliever that has that kind of strikeout rate. Just cannot. So my question to you guys, who want him to stay.
Yeah. Well, I don't want him to stay. I think he's going to
or think he's going to stay. What position does he play that I don't know about?
Right.
Because he can't relieve and he can't start. And I thought he was a pitcher, but maybe can he hit? Is he a lefty bat that we need somehow? All right.
I just, So who's your 4th guy?
My fourth
If
guy.
Rodon's down and you don't have Rodon, who's your 4th guy? Ronaldo Lopez?
Michael Kopech.
Yeah, I was going to say Ronaldo Lopez.
Yeah,
these guys.
It's a Lopez Kopech crochet, mashup. Like you don't want to have to get to that, but I would take that. I would take a bullpen game over a Dallas Keuchel start. And I don't know how you can disagree with me. Because a Dallas Keuchel start's a loss. Why would you?
You got to score a lot of runs.
Why would you choose losing? Yeah, I mean, I don't. Look, I like Dallas Keuchel. I was a fan when we brought him in. This is the kind of pitcher you need in this park. He's a ground ball pitcher. But we're not pitching in this park because, as we just discussed, we've given away home field advantage.
Well, 4th game probably would be in our
fourth game would be at home.
Fourth game would be at home.
But again, he's just that pitcher's gone. That great ground ball pitcher is gone. Right. He's now a home run given up, can't strike anybody out, useless pitcher.
Mess.
That we pay $18 million to.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of money though, so I think he's on.
He's going to enjoy that next year of that money, whether we keep him or not. But there's no way you could put him on this roster. There's not a position for him.
He's in. He's 100%.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree.
I agree with you, Treasy. You made a million salient points. He's going to be on the playoff roster. 100%.
Well, then let's get to the next guy. All right. And that is Jose Ruiz.
Yep.
So should Jose Ruiz stay or should he go? And so let's frame this, and then we can talk about it. So let's assume. So well, let me ask this question because to frame this, is Andrew Vaughn on the roster?
I will say yes.
Yeah.
I will say it is.
Which means there's 14
position players and 12 pitchers.
So we have to make that distinction.
Yeah. Yep.
So let's run through this. And let's
14
assume,
position players. Who is this?
let's assume that it's I'm not running through all the position players. There's just assume there's 14.
There's 14, yeah.
But let's assume now that we're talking 12 pitchers.
Yep.
Right? So this is and are we assuming Rodon's healthy? Because I think we are. So we're gonna have Giolito.
MSS says if he's not healthy, then he is Keuchel. But if he's healthy, Keuchel's out, right?
So let's assume Keuchel's out already. Let's assume Keuchel and Rodon, but Rodon's healthy.
Okay.
So it's one or the other, should be fine. So Giolito, Lynn, Rodon, Cease, Raylo, Kopech, Hendricks, Kimbrel, Crochet, Bummer, and then Tepera should be fine. Like he's got a cut on his finger. It's not like he has some like structural damage to his arm.
He should be good.
I assume he's going to be on the roster. So that's 11, right?
Yep.
Did I count that right?
You did.
So one more guy.
That's right.
Out of Burr, Ruiz, Wright, and Foster.
Yep.
That's what we're looking at. Now let's take Mike Wright and just assume he's just here to eat up innings.
Yes.
See ya.
He's out.
Thanks. Yes. Go back to Korea.
We appreciate you, but
Foster's
gonna drag you right the fuck out too.
That's not a guy.
He's out.
Now you're basically here Burr, Ruiz, and I don't know which one is better. I feel like Tony likes Burr better. He tried to use him in some really high leverage positions earlier in the season. Mm-hmm. So I am leaning towards Ruiz is also gone. I'm saying Keuchel and Ruiz are gone from this, unless you go 13 pitchers.
Right. I mean, the way I look at Ruiz, I mean, his body of work this season, he looks like an average major league reliever, right? He's nothing kind of special, but he's around average AL reliever stats kind of throughout the whole season. And now I'm really looking at the guy, and I'm looking at him like Treasy. He looks like a gangbanger from Morgan Street that we would have known growing up that we might have played Pony League with, that may have dropped acid before a game and just fucking pitched his balls off.
That guy was a great pitcher.
So, yeah, he was. And so that had me thinking the guy's got to make the team. Then I watched the game today, and I watched his playoff shares go flying out of the goddamn ballpark with that home run by Oscar Mercado in the seventh inning. So I'm going to say Ruiz is out because of recency bias. Although he had a pretty decent year, he's kind of sucked in any high leverage situation he was put in, including today. So I think there's not great usage for him. I'll say he's out.
My suck summer.
I'm going to agree. And mostly because of the last month or so, it's just he's not been there. Like, when Jose Ruiz comes in, I'm not like, yes, he's coming in. It's like, oh shit, this guy's still here. And like, I don't know like about your guys' gangbangers, but like the man has some chops. Jose Ruiz did, and he has like the kind of the floppy hair on top. I 100% think Jose Ruiz listens to Morrissey. So I don't know if that's how your gangbangers were here over on the south side.
Actually, let me explain something to you, my summer. Every Hispanic person loves Morrissey.
Okay, all right.
Morrissey,
I'll do the racism for you. I know you can't do a racism. I'll do the racism.
There's a few in the Hispanic handbook where you gotta like them.
You gotta like
Morrissey.
It's Morrissey, Depeche Mode, and The Cure. There's you check at least one or all of the above. It's in the handbook.
I mean, I'm part Mexican. I don't know if you guys know that because I used to live in Sterling. But I'm a big Cure guy. I like The Cure.
How dare you?
What? All right. So Ruiz is out. I think we've all agreed Ruiz is out.
He's gone.
Hopefully Keuchel is too because Rodon is back, and then we'll just move on. I can't believe you guys are putting Andrew Vaughn on the playoff roster. I don't got him there.
He's at 100%.
You have to.
I don't know when he's going to play, but
he's a first round.
Don't matter.
But actually, I do have an idea.
I'll take him over the next guy we're going to talk about.
I have an idea of when he's going to play, and so let's talk about Zach Collins.
Ooh, Zach Collins, baby.
Beef, can I tell you a little bit about Zach Collins?
I would love to hear it from you, my friend.
Recently, just his recent work,
Yeah.
and I know he's been in the minors for a little bit. Last 30, I think it's 36 games he's played. So since July 1st, and by the way, he homered July 1st.
Okay. Yep.
Since July 1st,
Right.
he's had 2 home runs,
Okay.
3 doubles. So I personally have no idea what he does that's valuable to a baseball team.
That's 3 months. 3 months, 5 extra base hits.
3 months, 5 extra base hits, played in optimal positions where he's almost always hitting against the right-handed pitcher.
Yeah, yep.
And he's not good at catching either.
Well, I'm going to get to that when it's so.
I mean, he reached for a ball today.
Yeah.
And it hit him in the glove, which is his soft spot. But it went right by him. And then he jogged over to it while the guy was running to home plate. It was some of the best defense I've ever seen.
If you're the umpire, are you you're pretty nervous if Zach Collins shows up and he's the catcher for the game, right? You're not.
I've not seen, and we've watched baseball for a long time.
Yeah.
Beef. I've not seen more umpires accidentally hit by baseballs as when umpiring behind Zach Collins. And that can't help your pitcher. There's no way that helps your pitcher. If you get no one has ever been happy after getting hit in the shin.
No.
So, someone is going to pay for if you hit your shin off of your coffee table.
Yeah.
I hope you don't have a cat near.
Oh man.
Because you're going to kick that fucking cat. It's not the cat's fault.
No, it's not.
But you're going to kick that fucking cat.
You'll start blaming, yeah.
Or just at least yell at the cat. Oh, you were in my way. I hit my fucking shin. There's no way umpires escape this somehow.
No, there's no.
Zach Collins thinks it's a ball coming to the left and just gets out of the way and lets some shit come by. The umpire's mad. You're not getting that next call. So to me, Zach Collins does nothing that can help a team. Baseball, any team. I'm not even limiting it to baseball. He can't help any team do anything. He's out for me.
Concur. Yeah. Cosign. Is that what they say? They say a cosign.
Yeah.
Yo, the fun time has run out, my man Zach. We'll see you later. It's been fun. You and Danny Menda can hang out and watch the playoffs together. It'd be great.
Dancing for dubs, baby.
Dance for dubs for these guys. They're gonna need
only
it.
Makes the team as a bullpen catcher. Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
I agree with Rhino Man. Collins only makes the team as a bullpen catcher.
100%. No, when I was looking at this, I was like, I need to bring real facts because I know the White Sox stealthily, and Rick Hahn did it again, boys, brought him back because they didn't want to waste his final option. They didn't want to keep him in the minors. They wanted to save one minor league option, just hoping and praying some other team is going to come along and say that they could fix his catching. So I want all you guys to go to church, get your rosaries, say them shits, so that we can find that team in the offseason. But for the here and now, I don't know if you guys know, but the Fielding Bible updated information just came out.
Oh, no, I didn't
So
know
I wanted to look at some of the defensive numbers for Zach Collins. And Zach Collins has caught 478 innings coming into today. So obviously I don't have today's stats in there. And its total runs saved for the year is negative 16, which is really freaking bad. If I give you an example, Yasmani Grandal has 0 runs saved. Okay, so he's kind of like nothing.
Average.
Basically. Average-ish, I guess. And Collins has negative 16, which appears to be horrible. I took a look at outs. I took a look at the framing numbers, like the run extra strikes on Baseball Savant, and Zach Collins is a negative 10. So he's also awful at framing. He's awful at kind of everything on the defensive side.
Sounds good.
Treasy, you mentioned the hitting. For the whole season, Zach Collins is striking out 30% of the time. And even when he went down to Charlotte for a little while, he was striking out like 35% of the time down there.
That sounds great.
30% ish strikeouts with a 330, 340 slugging. You know what? I got no plays for him. I get the idea of hanging on to that last option and say, okay, can we put a guy? Can we figure out a spot for a guy? Can we pass him to some other team for something in the offseason? I get that. I understand that maneuver. But Zach Collins, he's got to go. He cannot be on this playoff roster.
So I like this response from
He made
the
strikes
biggest
look like balls. Yes, that's correct. He made strikes look like balls.
from the biggest little big man.
It's the opposite. He went oppo.
Loaf, Zach Collins is the human embodiment of refusing to admit you made a mistake.
Yes.
Like it literally, you keep trying him out there because you're like, God, let him just show something. So maybe I got 2 clicks on the fucking highlight reel that I can pass around to other teams in the offseason, and he can't do it. So it's just Hahn refusing to admit he made a fucking mistake with this guy and just being like, all right, let's just hope something happens. Let's throw him out there. Just try it again. You're like, it's like when your wife or girlfriend or whoever makes some bad dinner and you're like, no, it's really not that bad, but it's fucking horrible. And you're just like, I gotta keep saying this because I hope somebody else will just say, yeah, give me some of that burnt to shit chili mac. Yeah.
All right, so guys, know Zach Collins. I think we're all in agreement. Send Zach Collins away.
He's gone.
So the next guy up now we got to talk about is one Sebi Zavala.
Yep.
And so, Beef, I'll let you go first. Tell us about what Baseball Savant and the Fielding Bible says about Sebi Zavala.
Will do. So Baseball Savant thinks that he's basically even. So he's at 0 runs, extra strikes, the same as Yasmani Grandal. So kind of you haven't really made a difference, but you haven't hurt your team either. You're kind of right in that spot. And then for runs saved, he's got 267 innings caught. So that's a little more than half of what Zach Collins' total is. He's also negative. He's -2, but not nearly as damaging as Collins has been in that spot. The bottom line, Sebi can't hit at all. All right, we were at the 3 home run game. That's some shit that'll never. It's like we saw a goddamn eclipse. It's like we raw dogged the eclipse, like the president did when he looked directly at it. That's
the
what
former
we
president.
saw. The former, the previous president. Correct.
I'm sure he might have too. Who knows? I'm not sure, but
President Trump looked directly at the fucking eclipse. We looked directly at the 3 home run game, and we had no idea what the fuck we were looking at. I was like, this is amazing. We'll never see this again. And we looked at both of them. Neither the shit. I mean, that shit's never gonna happen again. Sebi stays for me. He's striking out 40% of the time. Treasy, you and I could go up there and strike out 40% of the time. And, my hope is that they never have to use another catcher in the playoff series. After looking at this, I hope whoever makes the roster just collects their playoff share and we never fucking see them at all in any game.
MSS?
I agree. Sebi stays, but I don't say he stays because, as Loaf has said, he hasn't earned it. It's not like he's outperforming anything. But what I see in Sebi is his ability to just accept the fact that he sucks and just go with it. He's not going to be offended when Tony goes up there and says, fucking lay down a bunt, dude. And they're not, he's going to do what he needs to do to help the team win. That was prevalent and evident in the fucking Field of Dreams game. He kept that game going. When Sebi got up, I was like, oh, fuck, he's going to get out. He didn't get out. He made something happen. And that's what you got to hope for. There's this little small percentage because we're throwing percentages all over the place. Let's give a little bit of the percentage back in with this guy that maybe he will do something that will benefit the team. Conversely, I don't know. Fuck it. It's a C word. Fucking Zach Collins ain't going to do that. So I'm going to take Sebi over Collins 9 times out of 10. And the 10th time I would only take Collins if Sebi lost his arm in some leprosy accident.
We've gone really deep on leper tonight. We've really, really bit into the leprosy bit. But
if the bees come back and we're in the Old Testament and there's leprosy again, Zach Collins might be my guy.
You know what? An hour ago, people loved the leprosy bit. And so MSS, like any good comedian, goes back to the well.
Bring it
leprosy
back
one more time.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm going to go
back. It's called a callback.
I'm going to go back to the well. And you know what? I don't like Sebi either. I don't like Sebi. I don't like Zach.
Yep.
You know, they bring shit to the table for me.
No.
And in the playoffs, when you got Yasmani, this position is a fucking emergency catcher at best.
Yep.
And we're forgetting that we have someone who's contributed to this team this year, and I want fucking Yerman Mercedes on this
I
roster.
knew it was coming.
Fuck you guys.
Listen,
And I dare you to tell me that either one of these guys is better than Yerman Mercedes, because you know you're full of shit and you just don't believe the guy can catch because he's fat. And you're fattest. You're body shaming my man in his beautiful Trojan shorts. He's ready to catch the playoffs.
So you have seen it. He's already on a giant float being towed behind some massive power boat. He's done. He knows he ain't coming back. Yeah. That's why he's wearing the Trojan shorts, which I didn't even know that you could buy Trojan shorts like that. And he didn't even do a hashtag ad on that picture on his Instagram. So I don't know what's going on there.
Tracy, let me tell you this. If they did bring Sebi back, the Freddy's people would jump up and down like a motherfucker.
If they bring that
goddamn Yerminator burger back,
playoff version,
like crazy. Playoff version of that shit. That's
3 patties.
I'm in.
I never had one.
I mean, I wouldn't sit there and wait at Freddy's for hours to get it, but I would.
Freddy's shot, yes.
And watch 8 people walk out with it before you get it.
Exactly. Watch someone walk out with mine.
Maybe Punkies can make one too.
But honestly, if put it in a Panzerotti, I'll eat it.
Throw them pickles in there. It's good.
If we're just scraping the bottom of the fucking barrel for a guy, at least get a guy that we know has a chance at the plate. And because as much as we want to talk about Sebi being able to hit better than Zach, neither one of these guys can hit at all. And I can't believe that the catching is so good.
Have a chance at the plate? Does Yerman really have a chance?
No.
Yes.
I don't think he does. I agree with that. I don't think he does.
Treasy, we have one of the cheapest teams. And we suck. We trotted out Zach Collins just to save money on his fucking his other option.
Not asking for big money.
But what I'm saying is if there was a glimmer of hope that there was something inside of that man, we would have kept him around. We don't waste here on the South Side. We don't.
We kept him around for a long time. But there's a number 1 draft pick that we keep pushing in front of him.
No, I just don't. I don't agree. I think if he had some little bit of substance to offer,
let's put that.
It would take it.
I like this idea. Let's put this poll after the show. Who's most likely to get a playoff hit if they were deployed in the playoffs? Yerman, Zach Collins, or Sebi?
Oh man,
but that's not fair.
Put GFY because GFY 80%, but we'll see who wins out of the other ones.
But I don't think that's that's not fair, because it's not just, you're not just putting him on a playoff roster spot to hit. You're putting him on a playoff roster to play defense.
I'm not.
Well, you're not, but what I'm saying is
because I'm assuming, but I think no, I don't think so. I think most of us are assuming that Grandal catches almost all of these innings.
But what if he doesn't?
Tracy, put up the comment from Brendan McMahon right now on the board, if you could see that. It's kind of, you might have to scroll up a little tiny bit. He says the 108 spent the last 20 minutes on my nightmares of a postseason. That's why we brought this up, because we're like, we know we're going to throw bouquets earlier in the show. It's like, all right, let's talk about the bullshit that's at the end of this roster and see what everyone thinks of this.
Guys, you should feel so fucking happy that the last pitcher on the roster and the backup catcher are the only things we're concerned about.
Only concerns. Yeah, exactly. You should be elated by that.
Like, really this is good. Really but we get to talk about our beautiful baby boy, Yerman Mercedes, and you should enjoy that too.
For sure.
Let's quit calling him a boy. He's 28 years old, for God's sakes.
Hey, I was 28 years old the last time the Sox won a fucking division. All right, that was a long time ago. Yes, I was.
So that was what was that? 13 years ago?
Yeah,
13 years. Yeah, so 13.
I'm 41.
I was 31. I was 31. Yeah.
Beef. Tell us about YouTube, man.
Fucking right,
we
baby.
need a graphic.
We do need a graphic.
We do need
I'm sorry.
No problem. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're watching us on the live stream right now and haven't subscribed, make sure you tickle the undercarriage of that subscribe button and get on board. If you're listening to the podcast feed and have never watched the eroticism of the YouTube version of this show, just come to youtube.com/FromThe108 and hit the subscribe button. The current goal is 1,000 subscribers. I don't know if you guys know, we're like in the 980 something range. We are extremely fucking close right now to 1,000 subscribers. So get in there, subscribe. If you're watching right now, if you're in the comments, you're yucking it up, hit that subscribe button. We need you, baby. Let's go.
Beef Supreme.
Beef Supreme. That's
Nachos Beef Supreme.
I love Beef Supreme. I love that movie.
Great
That
movie.
movie is
Idiocracy,
so
great
great.
movie.
Oh man, Upgrade, bringing his double dose of pimping.
Baby.
All right.
SPF has finished 66 ounces of Goose IPA tonight. Good job, sir. We salute you with our Goose Island drinks. Cheers. Cheers.
Well, let me finish this one off, whatever this is. That tastes like a non-sponsor beer.
Delicious.
Ooh.
All right, so
What do you think of this pour, MSS? That good?
Oh, God.
This for Beer Garden Jim, even though he's probably not here.
Sean,
not
welcome to our world. Your wife is pissed.
That's a quality pour if you've ever seen one before.
All right.
That's not a quality pour, you jackass.
All right, so we're gonna bring back a segment that Beef Loaf brought to us, and I'm pouring a beer while I'm talking, but I'll see if I can do it. It's the I Stand For segment. So this is something that you are a fan of, or a super fan of, really, like Stan was of Eminem. This is the White Sox playoff edition. So this is White Sox themed. I didn't realize that before we started this. So I had a very wonderful horror movie thing that I was going to give you guys, but instead, I'm going to give you something different, and I'll go first because
hold on. In a rare move, Teresi has pulled the MSS card and was like totally confused by two things in this fucking podcast agenda this week. And beautiful.
This MSS, this was completely my fault. I just completely misread the agenda. I get where you're coming from now. I'm still gonna bust your balls about it whenever you do it.
I respect that. I respect the hell out of that. Go ahead.
So here's what I stand for, White Sox style, and that is White Sox porta potties. So you rarely see this, but on games when it's going to be packed, and we'll see if they do this for the playoffs. Outside of the 108 on that landing, like right outside on the ramp, they would line it with porta potties.
100%.
Now, these are not the Riot Fest porta potties that come pre-filled with shit. These are nice porta potties. And it's actually
the good ones.
Great because
nice.
You know what else porta potties force, MSS? The correct type of lines.
Yes, 100%.
Well, everyone picks
their horse.
Yep.
You see a door.
It is
forced.
It is perfection for bathrooms. And what's great is if you've snuck down onto the lower level, you got someone, hooked you up, got down there, you're hesitant to go back out and back in through that gate.
Right.
So there's less people that are going out to that. And since it's right at the top of the 108, it is perfect.
It is.
And so I stand for those porta potties. Porta potties, generally disgusting. When I went to Riot Fest this past week, I was very thankful for the amount of porta potties they had. But I was there at Friday at like 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Now Thursday they had like the night thing, and there was like some people there and stuff. Friday at 2 p.m., you'd go into a porta potty, they're already shit up to the brim. Like they brought horses in to shit in these things as soon as they laid them down. Like they put down a brand new porta potty and that's to get all the horses in there and shit in there to get them properly filled So we're like almost up to the level. So people know that these are usable. Like it's like the weirdest marketing of porta potties I've ever seen. Just so much shit. But
this anger right here, MSS, this anger comes from Treasy
something.
had the one guy who was involved with Riot Fest. We did an interview with him, and he's like, motherfucker never gave us free tickets. So now he's gonna body the hell out of Riot Fest anytime he can.
No. I love Riot Fest. I love Riot Fest, and I enjoyed the hell out of myself. I was just amazed at like how much pudding people must have been eating or something, because like there's like I don't know if there was if there was like a soft serve ice cream truck that I didn't see.
You didn't see the Metamucil stand that was
There must have been, like, I didn't know that Goose Island was selling an all brand beer. Like but the White Sox porta potties,
fantabulous.
Awesome. Just an awesome addition. I hope they bring them back for the playoffs. And please don't shit in them. I just plan to I just want to take a piss.
That's all. Piss only, please.
My Sock Summer, what do you stand for?
So I thought about this, and like I was telling Loaf pre-game here, pre-podcast. I try to think of things that are somewhat controversial. I'm finishing the night with a sock sale, by the way. Best way to celebrate this. Thank you, Goose Island, for making such a delicious beer. If you like golden ales, this is a great golden ale. You'll like this beer. I was thinking of stuff that was controversial, and then I was like, you know what? Maybe I don't need to be controversial. So what I want to do for this segment, what I'm standing for the 2021 White Sox playoff, like, you know, whatever situation here, is new traditions. I don't want people to bring back out shit that we've done before. I know there's already been chatter about a blackout game, Blackhawk game, and a blackout game. That didn't work out very well in 2008. I'm just going to say that, right? So why are we going into the playoffs with a blackout game, and then we're going to get like what do we win? One game in 2008 in the playoffs? I mean, come on, please. I don't need that shit. So let's do something different. Now, am I opposed to hearing, Thunderstruck before the game? No, I'm not. Okay. But I don't need to see the Pirates of the Caribbean fucking theme video up on the fucking screen like they did in 2005, okay? I'm better than that. I understand this. I understand why people liked it and they miss it, but let's get over it. Let's get to the next thing. Let's try something new. We have these fantabulous fake crazy lights that give people seizures.
Oh, yeah.
Let's use those.
Can't wait
to
out to those. Yeah.
Tell me how much fun it is to watch that Australian-ass motherfucking Hendrix walk out and the lights are going fucking crazy and we're listening to some Godfather of the mashup, okay? It's beautiful. It's beautiful. We couldn't even envision shit like this in 2005. So let's just face forward into the future. Let's see. Let's create something new. Let's create something our own, and let's own this shit. So I stand new fucking traditions. We don't got to worry about what they did in 1958. All right? Let's go.
I like that.
I love it. Let's get some new stuff, man.
Start some new shit, man. Let's get it started up. In the comments, they're saying Beanie Baby game possibly, or Brazzers ads. Maybe.
Oh, I like that.
Either of those would work. I think those are strong plays.
As long as it involves my man J-Mac and the inchworm, I'm all good, dude.
The infamous Brazzers game.
Mm-hmm. Man, you remember when that guy three-wayed that chick? Yes, I do. The Brazzers game. Remember?
Sox won that game.
Sox won. Dylan pitched his heart out his ass.
A different style of climbing the foul pole during the disco demolition. Beef, what do you stand for?
All right, this is something that I've been talking about a lot. I know I'm a little bit punk rock for this show. I know I'm a little bit of a trendsetter. I've been talking about this shit. No one's been talking about it otherwise, except for me and my man Alex Root, actually. But one other guy is on the bandwagon here. The thing that I stand for, and I've been talking about this fella, and everyone's terrified of him, and they want him to DH only. You got to read that. You can't have us read that shit.
But I like the porta potty door.
In reference to the Brazzers game, Timothy Maher just puts, stepmother, what are you doing in my baseball stadium?
Damn it, Timothy! You blew my wad right there.
Well, that was the point,
allegedly,
Johnny.
What I stand for is Eloy Jimenez's outfield defense. Everyone was terrified putting Eloy in left field. He's the DH only. You got everyone screaming and stuff. Like, no, Eloy's a good athlete. He's fast. Yes, he made mistakes in the past. Yes, he got caught in the spider webs that one time. Yes, he ripped his goddamn titty off going for a fly ball. We're going to forget all that because I think he could be a good defender. So I've been saying it for a long time. Then he came back, made a couple nice catches. For me, the eye test, Eloy's better than Andrew Vaughn in left field as a defender. A lot of other people, I think, their eye test would go the other way. The fielding Bible has come out. Eloy Jimenez, out of the White Sox left fielders, has the most total runs saved in left field.
Yes.
He has 4 in 221 innings.
It's positive, though. It's a positive save.
Andrew Vaughn played 720 innings in left field. He has -3 runs saved.
So,
okay, Eloy is a lot better than Andrew Vaughn on defense, according to the metrics there. I also went to outs above average because I was like, okay, this is only one way to judge fielding. Maybe they're wrong. Maybe my eyes are deceiving me and everyone else's eyes are right. You know what? No, they're fucking not. Outs above average, Eloy Jimenez, we already read the amount of innings, has 1 out above average. Andrew Vaughn, and this is baseball savant, -3. Guess what? If your eye test was telling you that Andrew Vaughn was a better left fielder than Eloy, throw your fucking eyes out. Get rid of your fucking eyes. I want you to go Minority Report and get brand new eyes so they can't scan you, okay? And then also you'll be able to see the game correctly that Eloy is a better left fielder than Andrew Vaughn. I try to tell everyone he can really run. When Andrew Vaughn would make a good play, I'm like, yeah, that's a good play for Andrew Vaughn. He can't move, okay? He's bad. It's not his fault. He's a first baseman, right? Andrew Vaughn shouldn't get shit for this. You should get shit for this as a fan. Andrew Vaughn did the best he could out there, right? I give Andrew Vaughn all the credit in the world. This is why everyone thinks I body Andrew Vaughn. I don't body Andrew Vaughn. Andrew Vaughn did a good job this year, right? He just is not as good as you think he is. That's
it's not Vaughn's fault. It's your fault. You stupid ass.
It's your fault. Vaughn's been fine. Vaughn's played good, man.
Now,
Vaughn's been a good player this year for the Sox.
Here's what I'm going to ask you. You're a numbers guy.
Allegedly, yeah.
If somebody has 221 times to fuck up, and then the other guy has 700 and whatever times to fuck up,
yeah.
I mean,
but
maybe like the numbers are a little bit skewed, or no?
That's 7 fuck ups, and one guy's way positive, and one guy's way negative.
Well, I know, but he's had less chances to fuck up.
But he's had less chances to do well.
He's had less. Exactly. That's true. That is true. Yeah. Okay,
they're both good enough sample sizes to
you think so
to discern something from.
I think it's fine. I mean, bottom line is left fielder. All I want you to do is hit. I don't give a fuck that much.
Right. I mean, your defense shouldn't cost us.
When we're going out in these Twitter streets and saying Andrew Vaughn is really a better left fielder than Eloy, he's not.
Oh, I don't think that's the case.
I know you're not. I'm just saying a lot of people.
But that is the general consensus that
I know. Well,
Eloy got his ass dragged off, and I was like, this is not true.
That's mostly because people are racist on the Facebook. So it's no big deal. Don't worry about it.
I'm not sure about
that. I'm drunk enough to say it. It's okay. It's the truth.
So, fellas, we finished this under 3 hours. We're even under 2.5 hours.